they're looking, and if they're not drunk up or something like that, it's a big concern.
Yeah, it is. And with that being said, again, let me say a pleasant good morning to the listeners of Sky 99.5. We live on Facebook, on all our social media platforms. We are Batson Associates Limited on Facebook. On Instagram, we are Batson Associates TT, and on YouTube, we are Batson Associates Trinidad. One of the valid points you make, and I always tell persons this, some years ago, when you hear arthritis, when you hear diabetes, when you hear things like strokes, it was much older people in the 60s, 70s. In fact, you would have hardly heard, maybe about 50, 60 years ago, persons, in the 30s having these types of problems. But the thing is, that's what's going on now. You actually have persons in the 20s that have, not even 20, teens. I remember an experience with dealing with a child that was diagnosed with a particular type of cancer, and they was diagnosed at the age of 12. The child is now 14. And of course, they found themselves in some problems because the type of cancer is actually colorectal cancer, which is a very aggressive form of cancer. But interestingly, in speaking to the parents, one of the things that they didn't realize, and I think this is something that I've realized is a problem with a lot of persons, they just don't understand what is proper nutrition. They don't understand that. They don't get that. And it's unfortunate, the one or two people who think they know, it's unfortunate they themselves don't even know. And I'll tell you why I say that, because sometimes you see dietitians make or present diet sheets and diet plans for persons. And I have seen some of these plans for persons who would have, of course, come to me for help as regards to, or us rather, come to us for help as regards to certain ailments. And it's deplorable, the meal plan that these people get. So, I often wonder if these persons that study nutrition, if these nutritionists really know what they're doing. Because, you tell a diabetic person to eat bread, you're speaking about rice and those type of things. And the thing is, if I am dealing with someone who is diabetic, especially if you are type 1 diabetic, which means you are dependent to some extent on insulin, it means we need to make some adjustments there. And it's very unfortunate because they don't know the information is significantly lacking. So that's what we're going to talk about this morning. We're going to talk a bit on nutrition. We're going to highlight those two products that we have on special for the month. That is the Nerve Restore, very popular product, very good product. We're going to touch a bit on that. We're going to speak about the inflammation formula. We're going to touch on situations with pain. And as I mentioned, we're going to touch a bit on circulation. So you know how we do. We jump from here to there to try our utmost to facilitate as much persons as possible as regards to what we're discussing. So, but keep in mind that mind works best when it is open. And I had this conversation with someone recently who came to us, and the interesting thing, Dominic, they leave doctors like myself for last. So they go and do all the bacchanal, everything. They give you all the work, they give you a surgery, they cut you, they open you, they cut you again, they do biopsy, they take a PCR, they send you down, you do some chemotherapy, they do some radiation. They say, well, here what, that ain't working, we come and go and give you our next round, so they change it. And you get all manner of things. And then you decide, here what, somebody tell me about Batson Associates, but listen to me on your last, Then your last, you even machine the brakes ain't working and thing in that vehicle. And you're saying, Batson, what guarantee you could give me, boy? Life hard, eh? Imagine that. But I get accustomed to that. But I just answer it to suit because I know by now, I just let you know as it is. So you might not like the response you get, but there is a door which you came in, and you can also exit that door the same way. And that's me, because I'm not going to fool people and tell them, well, here, what we're going to do this and we're going to do. No. We're not going to do that. All right. So that's what we're going to talk about. What is your knowledge and how to expand your knowledge and skill set as regards to nutrition? Because listen to me, that right now is one of the key components to anything else. Because the thing is, if you're not healthy, and this is something we know, I think some people don't really realize it, regardless of what hustle you have, whether you're children to mind, woman to mind, husband to mind, wherever it is you have to mind, and you're running up and down, breathless, If something happens to you, everything that you had to do, somebody else will do it for you. Take what I'm telling you. You know, there's a saying that a living dog, is better than a dead lion. You understand that? So as much as the lion is the king of the jungle and you have this and you have that in the forest, if you are not there, you're inconsequential. People just forget you. And I'm not saying that to say because eventually all of us at one point in time had to go. But at the same time, the point I'm making is don't be running your blood to water and not paying attention to yourself. Because you're going to regret that. And a lot of people just do that, Dominic. And you know how that is because you're dealing with your family, especially if you have children, whatever the case may be. But the thing is, you cannot leave yourself undone for any extended period of time. And one of the things we're going to do on Batson with or persons at Batson Associates, we actually implementing our specific pensioners package or pensioners packages. And the thing is, those packages are specifically designed for pensioners where I am trying my utmost and I'm quite successful thus far in doing it. It's just some things I need to wrap up. You know, is to get some very good products that are reasonable, that, you know, we can actually fit it in some sort of plan for persons. Because as you were saying at the genesis of the conversation, you know, a lot of people just don't know what to do. They have problems, but they don't. It's like they don't know where to start. And the thing is, if you have been sick for years, you can get fed up. You don't want to hear nothing, no doctor, you want to hear nothing because you go here, you go there, you go the other, you go all over the place. And everybody you went by tell you, hey, you know, you're good, but you're not feeling good. So contrary to popular belief, you are not mad and you should not be given medication for psychiatric medication, which is what they normally do to people who they do all the tests and they say, well, we didn't see nothing wrong with you, but you tell them that, hey, I'm not feeling good. I have problems with dizziness, I'm getting headaches, my appetite not right, I'm not thinking how I used to think, my memory giving me problems, I'm not breathing properly. You must know how you're feeling. So you saying, hey, I'm not feeling good enough, and the doctor go, they do CT scan, they do MRI, they do all kind of things, take blood, they empty you, and they still cannot tell you what is wrong with you. And that's where Batson Associates comes in, because I'll tell you something. If you're sick, if something is wrong with you, I guarantee you without a shadow of a doubt, we will tell you what it is wrong with you. We don't play, I don't mince words with anything. If I'm telling you, hey, listen to me, your pancreas in a mess, your kidney, real terrible, your liver wants some work, your cardiovascular, your heart could be healthy. And the thing is, you should want to know that because like with everything else in life, you always want to better your best. Now, the thing is, if you're healthy, you want to maintain that health, so you need to be a little proactive, and we deal with persons like that. But if you are, what's the word I'm looking for, boy? All right, I will find it just now. But if you have disease on top of disease and problems on top of problems, your problems telling problems go wrong. Then you're in a space for everybody there. Your blood pressure telling diabetes go wrong, diabetes telling cardiovascular problem go wrong. Then you have some asthma, you again problem to breathe. Then your foot swelling. What is going on with you? Why you have all these problems? And you went by a doctor and you're still sick? No, something is wrong. And that's why, I always tell persons, you have to deal or address rather the root cause of the problem. If you don't do that, it means that you are basically spinning, as the old people so wonderfully put it, you're spinning top in mud. You're not going anywhere. And one of the key things we're going to speak about as well is when you start to do proper thing, you need to let go of some of the nonsense, change up the diet. It don't make no sense. You're doing certain things. That's why people are still killing themselves in the gym. You know how hard it is to get muscle. Listen to me, muscle is one of the hardest things to build. And then it's reached a certain point in your life where you just plateau or taper off. So it's very hard to put on or get those little gains and have yourself working. You know how much work that is? And then you will going to go and drink alcohol like a crazy person and get drunk. You have to be out of your mind. That's madness. Every piece of work that you would have done in that gym, you just take it and throw it away. So you would have made 10 steps forward, but 50 steps back. So technically, you went back 40 spaces. And if you keep doing that and you calculate, you'll realize that you ended up, or you will end up, even further back than you actually started. Think about it. I remember speaking to someone recently, they had a whole list of problems. And then when they finally got on to me, they dealt with the consultants at the beginning, and then they had a one-on-one with me, very brief, but just to go over some things. And when I was going over it, and I made some adjustments, I looked at it, And when I was looking at it, based on the products that they were using, how long they're using it, I said, nah, man, something wrong here, you know. So the person was like, how you mean something wrong? I said, no, something wrong. I said, what you doing? So they went through the diet with me. I said, you're drinking water? Yes. You're getting bowel movement? Yes. You have any problems in your life? You're overstressed? No. I check, I watch it. I said, no, something wrong. You can't be using inflammation formula, nerve restore, and for a month now, and you still getting these problems. I said, something you're doing. Tell me what it is do, what it is eat, what it is use. Then for some reason, the person could not think of anything. Some reason during the conversation, when we're about to finish, I said something about energy. And they say, yeah, I just have problems with energy, you know, and I just use a lot of coffee. Watch me, Dominic. I could have fallen long. I said, I mean, is use a lot of coffee. Is use coffee? They say yes. I said, how much coffee is used? About 5 cups a day. And of course, the bell went off in my head. I said, oh. I said, you're playing, I play a spinning top in mud, man. I said, so all the progress that you would have made, because they got some progress, you know, but the progress was minimal, was because of that. They were drinking 5 cups of coffee every day. I said, no, you making 10 steps forward, 100 steps back. Every time you drink 1 cup of coffee. So I say, see what's going on with you? And when I changed it and we fixed everything, you know, significantly better than there was before. Significantly better. So a lot of the times, if something is not working per se, it's not that it's not working or not. It's you doing foolishness. You doing foolishness. You cannot do that. You have to make up your mind, listen to me. I need to go on a proper diet. I need to do some exercise. And I need to be a little consistent with the thing. Because you have to understand, when you're dealing with integrative medicine and natural medicine, it's like when you go in the gym or if you exercise, and if you're a runner and you want to build endurance. Let's say you never run in your life and you decide, hey, I'm going to pick up running. I want to be a marathon runner or long distance runner. There is a training process that you have to go through. You don't just go on the first day of training and decide to run how much miles. The ambulance will pick you up. Will pick you up, and then the next few weeks you might be in pain because you have built up a lactic acid. The point is you have to do it progressively over a period of time. It's the same thing in the gym. I remember when I was younger, when I was like about 18 years, and I walk in there, you got in, you're excited, you want to think your muscles, but I was good maga down there. Skinny. So I always want, my mother used to be like, boy, what's wrong with you? You'll eventually get some size. I was like, nah, that's taking too long. Go on gym, man. First day I go on gym, man, I must do every machine in the gym. Of course, you know, I couldn't walk and move for like about 2-3 days. I couldn't even go to anything. Because excitement, you want to do everything one time. But then, of course, later on, very sooner than later, and I thank God I made that mistake, in the earlies, you understood what it is you needed to do. And you pace yourself, and I understood about reps and sets, and I didn't know anything about that. Why you think when you're working out muscle groups and that kind of thing, there's a specific way in doing things? Because when you do it like that, your body's going to respond in a positive or in a progressive manner. So the same, applies with sickness and disease and imbalances in the body. You don't get diabetes just so. People need to come out of this concept in their mind that diabetes run in my family. It don't run in your family. Your family running the diabetes. In fact, not even running it. It's like you're mining the diabetes, excuse me, because of what y'all consume. If all living in one house and they're cooking, how much pot all is cooked? 10 pot. All eating the same thing. So if one had diabetes, the next one just didn't get it yet. It's just a matter of time. And then your daughters leave home and they go and marry and they go in and cook for the husbands. What they will cook? What somebody else teach them? They went to a teaching class? No, I mean a cooking class, sorry. No, you teach them to cook. So the same sort of rice and all the simple carbohydrates and all the processed meat and all the soft drinks and the juices and that kind of thing, they follow that pattern. And then they teach their family that and that. So you have generations of rubbish in your blood. What do you think going to be wrong with you? You're not going to be a healthy individual. All of us is big people. We went to school. We know you know how children is coming up. Saliva don't make children. Egg, sperm. If the egg healthy, you get a healthy baby. And now healthy, we put in inverted commas. Because who really determines how healthy an egg is or a sperm? People don't know that. When your parents go and do what they do. We know somebody when somebody get pregnant and somebody hopefully, eventually, God's willing, if everything goes well, they're going to have a baby. But there's a lot of complications women can go through during pregnancy. And a lot of times, the complication doesn't even have, it has a lot to do with the diet. So you have to take all those things into consideration. Napoleon Bonaparte, which everybody knew who Napoleon was, he was a cancer family. That was one of the families they used to try and prove or to help people to understand that, you know, certain things runs in families. Now, even though the family was a cancer family, a lot of persons ended up with cancer. Again, it brings into scrutiny what it is I was just explaining there, where you have to understand that once everybody is eating or everyone is having those meals, you're going to end up with the same problems. And the problem is these young people that we have now, God bless their soul, I don't know. That's why they're falling down like flies. Their foundation is atrocious. In 20 years, you have one of the worst, unless you have very diligent parents, and you yourself after a certain age became aware of certain things, and you know, you a lot of them. Rubbish. When you do blood analysis on them, their oxidative stress is high. They actually have bodies, their biological age is like about 3-4 times the chronological age. So you're doing a blood analysis on a child 10 years, and the blood looks like if it's a 40-year-old. And not a healthy 40-year-old, an unhealthy, diseased 40-year-old. So that's why I was telling somebody up there yesterday, I'm not in the politics of medicine. I do have time for that. I really do have time for that. Allopathic or Western medicine has its place. If, God forbid, your blood sugar giving you problems, you might be feeling bad, you have an ill feeling, a bad feeling, you're feeling dizzy, lightheaded, whatever the case may be, or you may have gotten COVID or something like that. Those things wreak havoc on your body. So when you would have gone through that, it is an emergency. They have to put you on medication. Your sugar is 500 every day. You want to come by Batson? No, we could fix sugar 500. You could come to me with sugar 500 every day, and in a week time, we bring down that sugar to at least under 200. And if you listen exactly, by the end of the month, you're reading about a 90, or a 110, on average. But the point I'm making is that in the event of an emergency, your sugar 500 and plus, you're dizzy, you're vomiting, all kind of thing wrong with you. No, that's hospital. Insulin injection in your waist. You gotta get some injection then, because the situation is an emergency situation. But when that passes, what it is you need to do? You need to deal with the root cause of the problem. And that's where the lifestyle comes in. That's where the understanding proper supplementation. Because remember, if we're going on the basis of genetics, we're going on the basis of foundation as it relates to genetics. Because if you ever had a discussion or you even read up on what geneticists do, and people who did, because they were quite popular, virologists as these type of people, especially during the pandemic. If you would have looked at any recordings or you do research, you would realize when they look at genetics, there's a whole broad understanding as regards to how nutrition could actually change genetics. Why do you think people of Asian descent, the Chinese, you must watch them? Look how they look. And when I say Asian, even if you're talking about Japanese, Chinese, Taiwanese, all these and them, you will realize that they have a particular body type. The skin does look a particular way, the hair look a particular way. If you look at people who live in even certain parts of Africa, you look at people like from Benin and those type of countries, look at how they look. There's a reason, because your environment always influences the body in some way. So the environmental factor we're talking about here is nutrition. And nutrition that was consistent for generations. So you're going to have some strong people. And even in persons who, when you look at people, for example, from Tobago, Grenada, Jamaica, they had a particular type of slaves that they would have gotten. And as a result of that, they would have had certain physical traits and attributes. But again, when you look at the food in that whole spectrum over a period of time, and when it changed, when we brought in all these sort of fast food restaurants and all this sort of sugar and all this craziness, we ended up in the situation that we're in today, with Trinidad and Tobago being one of the sickest countries in the world per capita. It is ridiculous. So I'm saying all of that to say, if you're fed up Understand what it is I'm telling you, and understand clearly what I'm saying. If you're fed up being sick and you genuinely, look at my words, genuinely want to get improvement, because there's some people like being sick, you know. That's an next whole mental state of mind. You know. There are people who literally will themselves, and because of that mind, that powerful mind that you have that you don't even know how powerful it is, especially your subconscious mind, you will stay sick because mentally you want to be sick. Remember, everything starts here. You know? So if you genuinely want to get better, because some people like people to, you know, feel sorry for them, and you know, there's a whole different psychological condition. So if you genuinely want to get better, I am telling you, you are doing something wrong. If you're not, you want to get better, you're making changes, but something wrong, something missing. Dr. Batson, our lady told me that, you know, before she came to me. She actually is a testimony client. We have some really good testimonies right now. We got some recently. We put up one on our on Facebook recently with a young lady. You should go and check out that. That was a very impressive testimony. Because we was dealing with this mental. If that young lady didn't come to us, she'd have been in some problems. Serious problems. And her mother was ever grateful. And listen to me, when she started with us, it was a task, you know, it was piece by piece until we get her where she wanted. The good thing about it, her mother was a very intelligent, and she reads, and you know, she takes advice and that kind of thing. And she really said, Dr. Batson, you really said that we would have had to wait this period of time. And she was very observant, very good mother. She dealt with her child, you know, she was there. And watch me, the results, impressive. So don't figure whether your illness is a mental illness. Some people say down there with depression. Depression is, watch me, is a silent killer. You know what persons sitting down, and I am talking about early stage depression. I'm talking about serious depression to the point where they can actually commit suicide. Women with problems with PMS, this postmenopausal syndrome, that all you're running around like if all is mad people. And I'm not being facetious or disrespectful in any way, but that is what it is, because that is how it is feel like. And if you are not guided properly, it is going to be unfortunate for you. You're going to go somewhere, they're going to give you Zoloft, they're going to give you amitriptyline, they're going to give you these what do you call them, boy? Not calcium channel blockers. Now remember it just now. There's a particular type of medication, or serotonin uptake inhibitors, they call them. And listen to me, when you start to take those things, it changes your brain chemistry. And listen to me, those things are very hard to fix. Because you see people who are on depression medication for years, and they don't be in a good place. You mess, you take that medication, you're drowsy. When you get up, you feel like if they drug you, you can't function because of what it has to do. It has to turn off certain things in the brain. Do not put yourself through that. If you're having problems sleeping, something is wrong with your gastrointestinal system. I'm telling you, you know, it is wrong with your central nervous system. We have to fix that. A lot of people have depression because of their gut. We call it auto-intoxication, auto-self-intoxication poison. So you essentially have poison, your body poisoning itself. And anyone who has been diagnosed with an autoimmune disease, that is what you have. These poor people with lupus, or they're suffering there. Suffering, you know. Taking hydrochloroquine, prednisolone. What's the next thing they like to give you, boy? A next thing. But you're not getting better. How? So what are we doing wrong? Something wrong somewhere. Einstein said the only people who do the same thing over and over, expecting a different result, is mad people. You need to go and check yourself in St. Anne's, get a suitcase. In fact, you have to be mad from the beginning. So you only put it not in a suitcase, put it in a plastic bag and get yourself down the road there, because something is wrong with you, you're not right in your head. You're eating the same food, you're taking the same medication, you're not doing the exercise you're supposed to do, and you have diabetes. And you know what this tell you? A lady told me, she said, Dr. Batson, I just go and check, you know, every month every 6 months or whatever it is, they just go and do my blood test for me and thing, you know, and I just check. And my kidney good and my liver good. I say kidney and liver good. For now. Why do you think they just check it so much? So when I go wrong, they can tell you. But here what? Is a dialysis machine you're going on or no? If you look at and tell you, go down by Batson and them there and see if Batson could get some alcogen water and some circulation. They're telling you that. They're telling you, hey, come, we need to make an access. So you do a surgery and they do an access either here, you get access up here, or you get it in your hand here. And they say, Mr. or Ma'am, dialysis from next week. 3 days a week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And let me tell you something. If you feel you was feeling sick before, wait until you start a dialysis. You will find out something. I don't paint no pretty picture for nobody, you know. If you want an artist to paint flowers and garden and think I am not the person, you ain't getting that. I don't operate so. I'm giving you the hard, raw truth. So if you have high blood pressure, you need to mind your business. Mind your business. And don't figure, because you have high blood pressure, you can take, you know, your atenolol, your nifedipine, and hypertension is one of the body's greatest emergency indicators. You see, when your blood pressure high, your body telling you, hey, listen to me, something wrong here. There's an alarm. There's an alarm going off. Bandit in the building. Them fellas are even outside, they don't reach inside the house already. That is what your body telling you. So for you to be taking calcium channel blockers, which are one form of hypertension medication. You have calcium channel blockers, beta blockers, you have diuretics, so things like Lasix and Benadryl and those type of things. That's an emergency. Your body telling you, listen to me, your systolic pressure, which is your top number, is 150, 160. Some people go over 200. And your diastolic, which is your lower number, which is more important than the systolic, is 100 and 150. And thing. Listen to me. You are a walking time bomb. It's just a matter of time. You know, human beings just explode, you know. People don't know that, you know. I see things just blow up in your body, you know. Things just explode, you know. What do you think this causes an aneurysm? What do you think an aneurysm is, especially if you get a brain aneurysm?
That's right.
There's an explosion there, like blood vessels bursting inside of you, you know. When you have this thing, DVT, deep vein thrombosis, what do you think that is? Explosion business. Your blood cells, those blood vessels that you have, you're not treating them good. And them fellas and them stretch out now, or they burst. And contrary to popular belief, surgery and doctors cannot fix everything. It have things that doctors can't fix. You know? It have things depending on how bad your kidney is. The thing is, I was quite fortunate and good with that. And the reason why I ended up so good with dealing with people with high creatinine and bone and people with GFR and to bring them back is because I have so much challenges. Like all the kidney people in this country must be combined. So I had no other choice but to make sure and do research check. There were times we were using things, it worked good with our set of people, then we get 2 new people and nothing working with them. It's like, where all they come from, boy? I had to go and change everything and adjust it. But that's where it has been experience. So the point I'm making is don't know you have pressure, and it has some men too. Well, don't talk about all that. Always our next set. That's our next program. I don't know how strong a woman is make out to tell you. Well, they deserve to walk out and leave all the righteous part of me tell you. Because all they don't listen. They do not listen. No, they don't listen. Oh, I started. Yeah, you gotta pay attention to that, man. Because let me tell you something, the majority, if you check dialysis patients, I mean, I didn't do any official research, but I know off the top of the head, the majority of people who end up on dialysis are men. There's a lot of men. Because they harden, your blood pressure high, you love meat, you love pork, you cannot sit down and eat a plate of food unless you have a set of meat inside of you. Your gut's touching the ground, your belly big, you know you're not fit, you know you need to do something better, and your blood pressure reaching 200 and something over 1 something, and you're normal. You are a walking stroke. So the next consultation you have, and you're only checking on yourself, but if you're going by the doctor, you know, the health office are thing free. Go, let it check you. Buy a blood pressure machine and keep it in your house and test it and monitor. You cannot be doing that. You cannot play the fool with pressure. You cannot do that. I've seen it over and over and over and over and over. September next month, making it 13 years since I'm doing this. And I have seen it over and over and over again. When you get stroke, every single person who would have gotten a stroke, you had a problem with circulation, and a lot of y'all knew that something was wrong with you. But you know what? You're playing, I don't know, that wasn't smart. You're playing stupid, you're playing dotish. and you're not paying attention to yourself. You're running up and down the place. I mean, we have to survive, we have to do what we have to do. But when it is, and listen, let me tell you something. People would say, oh God, I don't want no time, and I don't want no money. When you get sick, where does do? And you have time? You have plenty. You have plenty time. You can't go nowhere. The same time that you didn't have to do things, you have to lie down in that bed and hush your mouth and do what it is you're supposed to do to get you better. Why put yourself through all of that? Why? That make no sense. That make no sense at all, at all, at all, at all. An ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure. Always remember that. So with that being said, let me give you the telephone numbers. Let me open the telephone lines, take some of your calls. We're gonna, as I say, we have some specials running still. We have actually that pensioner special, so that's something that you could call, get some information on. The telephone number you can give us a call on for the Shogunas office. That number is 222-8261. That's 222-8261. Dede is 223-7515. That's 223-7515. St. James is 220-8113. That's 220-8113. And Tobago is the Triangle Building in Scarborough, Tobago. And that number is 226-4553. Again, for Tobago, it's 226-4553. So you can call, just allow the phone to ring, hang it up, and we'll give you a call bright and early tomorrow, please God. So with that being said, I'm going to go over to Mr. Dominic. And let me, of course, again say a pleasant good morning to all our Facebook persons, Miss Lee, Miss Pamela Moses, Miss Marva Huggins, good morning to you. Miss Pauline McKenna, good morning. And the list goes on and on. Our Instagram persons. Instagram, we make sure and shift it in such a way that you all can see me. Because I find people on Instagram to be shy. I don't know what's going on with all you. You all just want to give us, ask me a question. I mean, I just come across a little aggressive and thing, but overall, as a nice person, I know.
So easy. So easy. All right, so friends, we're ready to take your messages. Again, you've been bombarding my lines here for weeks and days and months. So Dr. Batson is here. Now, Doc, I feel like if I have to clamor one more time for the persons in the East, where the office in the East region, man.
Listen to these people with the office in the East. Listen to me. In the
we're running easy.
Listen to me. God's blessing, or they will get what they have to get. In the meantime, we have Shogunas, we have Dede, and we have St. James. Okay? And we have delivery. There are phones. We also do phone, and we also do Zoom consultation. So listen to me. Where there's a will, there's a way.
There's a way. Because I realize here, we have a couple messages on the board already, but I realize those are my international listeners. My international listeners pay attention. I say a message early, they don't stick.
Mm-hmm.
I have New York and Toronto on the inside already.
Nice.
All right. All right. So we will get you that. All right. Somebody wants the St. James number one more time.
St. James is 220-8113. So that's 220-8113.
All right. What do you recommend for circulation to the brain and lower leg?
Okay. So when you deal with circulation to your brain, well, there are two types of circulation. So pulmonary circulation is above your heart. I was just talking about hypertension. God forbid if you have pulmonary hypertension. Well, that's the worst type of hypertension. A lot of people do not know that you have different types of hypertension. Pulmonary hypertension is different from regular hypertension, right? As regards to circulation, you can't go wrong with omegas. I always tell people that. There was an interesting statement, and again, let me just cover this carefully, where the former Minister of Health had mentioned about omegas. There was a video that was trending some time back, and he was saying that a lot of persons coming in the ICU with problems with bleeding and strokes and all these type of things, and is as a result of, or it could be a consequence of using the omegas. And I found even though the explanation was lacking, it could have been done better, in the sense that one of the things he alluded to was that persons who are on blood thinners So if you're on warfarin, if you're on Clexine, aspirin, those type of things, you need to be careful in using omegas. You need, because omegas do thin your blood. So, you know, I found that what should have been said is that, you know, once it is you're not on dose and you have proper guidance, but remember, doctors are not trained in supplementation. They are not trained in nutrition, whether it's vitamins, minerals, enzymes. That's people like myself, job. So, you know, what I would advise you to do, omegas are very good, but you just need to be careful as regards to if you're on blood thinners. And then if you're on blood thinners, you need to be even more careful about that, because you're not supposed to be on blood thinners for extended periods of time. So anybody telling you that you need to take warfarin for the rest of your life, you need to check yourself properly, because I am telling you, you're going to end up in some problems. You're going to end up in some problems. There's a product we carry at Batson Associates known as Cerebral. That product was specifically designed for helping with memory and blood flow to the brain, that type of thing. I'm a big advocate as it relates to lower circulation. There are some enzymes that we normally use, because the thing is, if you have blood clots, if you have blockages in the brain, if you have blockages, so people who have Alzheimer's, Parkinson, you have things like vascular dementia, you have you would have had TIAs, which are transient ischemic attacks, or what are often refers to as mini strokes. It means that you need those type of things. The circulation T is big. We are a bit low on T. God's willing, we will get T this week coming here, if not this week, next week. So we have some things to replenish there for you guys, but make your calls. And once you make a call, we list you there, and when we get to make sure and call you. The water is the next thing. People drink your water. Hydration is important. I don't know what language to say that in again. Water, remember, your blood is comprised of how much percentage water? Your blood is 30% solid and 70% plasma, which is primarily water. That's the liquid component of the blood. So if your blood is very thick, and let me tell you something, a lot of people quickly, when you're taking aspirin, aspirin doesn't thin your blood. It doesn't. That interferes with platelet aggregating. That's a completely different thing from thinning your blood. So you could be taking aspirin and have thick blood, which makes it even worse. Because if you're in a situation and you start to bleed, it is very difficult for them to stop that bleeding. And the bleeding could be intestinal, so the easiest place to bleed is in the colon and the back of your eyes. Very easy. That's some people, when they're taking things, they see blood coming out of their nostrils. You need to be careful. That means blood vessels are being damaged, and it can cause serious problems. Okay.
All right, so you just mentioned the colon. I do have a question on the colon. Where is it? All right, can you tell us how long after having a colonoscopy can you use the Santulan detox?
After having a colonoscopy, okay, you should wait 1, 2. I would say give yourself about a month. Okay, no. What you could do is do the water cleanse with the alkagen water. So you drink anything between 8, your body weight divided by 2 ounces with the alkagen water. Use that together with the advanced chlorophyll. Use that for 2 weeks. And after the 2 weeks, you can start the Santulan. Because if they would have used dyes, which I believe, yes, because they have contrast that they would use, you need to get that out of your body, especially when you do things like CT and MRIs. Once they use contrast is dye, you know. It means you need to use things, and that dye is a serious, don't feel that dye is a joking thing, eh? That dye is serious. That dye could affect your kidneys, your liver, and that kind of thing. So it's very important that you do some sort of properly guided detoxification programs. If you would have done things like CT and scans where they would have used contrast and those type of things. So,
friends, you can give us a call at 625-2759 or 624-7729. 625-2759 or 624-7729. Send your messages to 333-9950, 333-9950. This is the program, Overcoming Health Issues Naturally, with Dr. Jason Batson of Batson and Associates. All right, we are on every Sunday right here on Sky 99.5 FM. And trust me, even if you catch the repeats, you're going to hear something that you needed to hear at that very time, that very moment. It's never a moment. I have sat here, I have recorded the thing, I have edited the thing, and I have learned many a thing over the repeats as well.
Nice.
All right, we continue Dr. Batson, what can help with low thyroid?
So if you have hypothyroidism or low thyroid function, all right, let me go back a little bit. So if your thyroid primarily is a organ that is part of your endocrine system, right? So that controls hormones. So you have a hormone that you look at. You have T3, you have T4, and you have TSH, which is thyroid stimulating hormone. Now the T3 and the T4, they look at the levels in the blood. Most of the time, people who have low thyroid function, those hormones are very low. So as a result of that, you're going to have problems with weight gain. You're going to have problems being lethargic, low energy, those type of things. Incorrect. There's a product we carry called thyroid formula. Thyroids are not only iodine deficiency issue. It could also have issue with selenium deficiency. It could also have serious issues as it relates to gut problems, where your digestive system is not functioning properly, and as a result of that, your body is not absorbing the proper minerals, things like magnesium, manganese, calcium, those type of minerals to really support the colon, and support the thyroid, and as a result of that, you end up with thyroid problems. So definitely you're looking at fixing the gastrointestinal system. So you're going to need some digestive aids. So like we have something called Digestive Balance, which is a very good product for helping your food digest properly, preventing things like acid reflux, burning, bloating, gas, those type of things. It helps with constipation as well. We have Digestive Restore, which is more a herbal aspect associated with digestion. So that deals with like foundation of your digestion. So people who have things like maybe irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's, diverticulitis, so inflammatory bowel conditions, where, precursors to cancer, I call them, because all them people end up with cancer, and you don't want to have to end up with colorectal or rectal cancer. That's one of the worst forms of cancer it has, simply because it wreaks havoc very quickly, and because of being located in that part of the intestines, it can metastasize or concentrate itself in different parts of the body very quickly, especially if it is in the small intestines. So it's vitally important that you look at things like your santulan, your alkagen water, and we get some real good results with that. Right now, we have water. We're getting more water on Monday. I know they ran low in St. James, but we topped them up on Friday morning, and the day they would have gotten as well. So this weekend they'll get water. So by next week, or in fact today they should have. We'll have more of the alkagen water, that the digestive balance, digestive restore. And the thing is, what you have to understand, let me say something quickly. Your budget is your budget. I don't send nobody to work. I don't pay all you. So I cannot demand from you what to spend on your health. I can only advise you. Do not do one mistake. Hear this mistake quickly. Do not think you need to have $1 million to come to take care of yourself. Don't ever think that. I'll give you a quick example. There was a lady that I dealt with. Every time the lady come to the office, we were dealing with her husband first. Every time she see me, nice lady, Dr. Batson, are you going good? I'll come and see you just now. I'll come and see you just now. I came, but I had to make up some money. And the first time she told me that, I didn't really take it on, because a lot of people say. The second time I didn't take it. The third time, what made me pay attention was how she was walking. And then when I looked at her legs, I said, but one of your legs looks swollen. And she said, yes, I tell you, I have a problem with poor circulation, but I have to save some money to come and see you. I said, listen to me, hear this. I said, how much money you have, sir? Just the woman look at me like, how do you mean? I said, how much money you have? What is the minimum you could make, wherever the case may be? She said, $300. I said, $300? I said, okay, no problem. Here what to do? I said, buy 3 bottles of alkagen water, 1 pack of santulan, and get the rest in the circulation tea. That's all, 3 bottles of alkagen water, 1 pack of santulan, and the rest in circulation tea, because she said she had $300. So I think with that, she would have got like about 16 packs of tea. You know something? The next time I saw her, she said, Dr. Batson, I'm feeling good enough. I said, okay, good, no problem. She said, buying her next set again. The next time I saw her, the foot went down. You know what she said? She said, Dr. Batson, I'm about to come and see you again. I said, no. You're coming to see me for. You're coming to your office. You're seeing me. I say, so you see what? So the point I made there, Dominic, a lot of people in this field, oh God, so I need to get the L-arginine, that's set of money. And because the thing is, depending on the degree of supplementation that you're using, a lot of people don't understand nutrition to the extent that I understand it. And that's not boasting. There's my work, there's my job, right? And what you have to understand, when you're dealing with things like anthocyanins, for example, Anthocyanins are a component that you find in bright colored fruits and vegetables. So you find it in grapes, you'll find it in things like different cherries, blueberries, those type of things. If they have to extract that would be a little costly for them. Then we use something called, if you know about things like mushrooms, for example, that's our next thing, because we're going to go in that in a big way, because that mushrooms are what my mega powerhouses when coming to nutrition, especially as it relates to immunology. Again, that's why the Chinese are so strong. When you look at things like chaga, tuchui, ganoderma, then you have reishi. When you really know mushrooms, depending on the kind of mushroom, might be a little more costly than the other one. So the point I'm making is depend on the level of nutrition that you need and depend on the level of damage and oxidative stress that you're dealing with. So diabetics, and that's why diabetic people, and that's why I've been begging all you and pleading with you all, do not allow your diabetic situation to graduate to the point where you're reaching PhD level. You will not like yourself. There is no coming back for you. You will lose your eyesight, you will end up an amputee. People with diabetes who end up losing their foot, don't feel that it's just a part of diabetes. Listen to me, you have to be in a serious state of affairs for that to happen to you. And the point I'm making is that if you was doing a little thing, piece by piece, because that's how you have to do it, you have to do piece by piece. I don't live in your house, I don't know your business, I don't know what's your economic situation. If you say you don't have, you don't have. I think you're lying to help yourself. But the point I'm making is that even if it is, you try to tell me you cannot spend $300, even if it's for the year. If that lady had just done that 3 bottles of water, 1 pack of Santulan, and those teas, and she did just do that for 1 year, it still would have helped her. So don't sit down and suffer and bother about you don't have no money. You're mad. Why are you doing yourself that? Not $1 million you're not come and spend. What are you going to do? Go and wait? Or lucky the hospital is do surgery. And if all you have to pay, if we have to pay, because you know when you're bouncing nursing home, that's a different scenario, and you cannot vex the people. It's a business they're running, they have to pay people, they have to pay bill, water rate, everything, electricity. They have to have a generator. All nursing homes have to have a generator. You know how much for a generator? So the people have maintenance. So there's a cost to everything. The point I'm making, don't wait. Where you feel that a free kidney by the side of the road waiting for you. When your kidney get in trouble, you can just go with that kidney growing on tree. You can just go and pick a kidney and put it back inside of it. Don't be foolish. Thing don't work so. You think you can go down with the bamboo by them fellas and them down there and say, hey, my eye ain't good enough, boy. How much for eye? It don't have foreign use eye, you know. And foreign use kid. No, it don't work so. It don't work so. You gotta take care of what is yours. And that is where I told that. I tell you, the lady happy, you know, if you see Tanti foot going down, she said, Dr.Batson, back to walk, ting. The other day I say, how your husband going? She say, he good, but I hear business, I good now. So that's the point. So again, quickly, those telephone numbers, Shogunas, that Shogunas number is 222-8261. That's 222-8261. For Debe, Debe is located at the corner of Ramsonwood Trace and the SS Erie Main Road in Debe. That number for Debe is 223-7515. That's 223-7515. As of the beginning of September, Debe office is now going to resume opening for the full week. You remember we only used to open for 4 days, which was Wednesday to Saturday. So we have gone, as of September, full, right? And that's, of course, to facilitate the new consultants. So the thing is, you have open clinic days now, which is going to be in all those offices. So depending on the backlog that we have for consultations and your appointments, you're saying, Dr. Batson, you're suffering, man, so long I come and see you. We're fixing that. And there's a system in place. Let me say a pleasant good morning to Ms. Karishma Ramdan, Mr. Paul Green, Mr. Rene Bastamante, and all the other hard-working staff at Batson and Associates. We have things for you.
Yeah, we're opening right through. We're going right down.
And
so you
we
know
have
what I mean?
things for you. Even if it is a thing, I buy a 2-3 pack of tea, and that's why you can afford to run with that. But at least you're doing something. Don't sit down home in your house and suffer and crying. Your eye gain, your trouble. Eye drop is not $1 million. Over to you, Dominic.
But the jelly reach. The jelly reach.
Right. I say use the backup for now. Yeah, but jelly.
messages 333-9950, and of course we're taking your calls. So don't forget you can give us a call 625-2759 or 624-7729. All right, let me see. Morning, Dr. Kandre, Dr. Batson. I am so glad that you're alive this morning. I never called program before because it's so difficult, but I always message and I always achieve what I want to know. I've learned so much from you, Dr. Batson. My numbers are reading good for now. Our blood pressure is 130/85, pulse 67. It's 92, 102. I have much to say, but when I see you. All right, so the question is 1 cup of coffee permitted?
Oh, 1 cup of coffee over what drink?
I'm deliberately asking. I am deliberately asking because I know that we went through person with 5 cups.
Yeah.
And I know somebody will say, "But so if I have 4 cups?" Sorry, I was all right. Excuse me. If I have 3 cups, you know, what we gonna do? What we gonna say?
Okay, let me tell the coffee drinkers out there, because I know these coffee people must want to hang me when they hear me talking, or speaking rather. The thing is, you can't do that every day. You can't do that. Okay, let me give you an example. Turmeric, right? What people just make a mistake and call saffron, which is really turmeric. Turmeric is very good for you. I can list, we do a room to list the properties of turmeric. Consists of something known as curcumin. And they have something called curcuminoids that they actually find in, right? So that's a whole different aspect, as you know, in terms of extract and that kind of thing. The point I'm making, as much as turmeric is good for you, you could drink a cup of turmeric every day? No. Aloe's real good for you too, right? Aloe's good for you. But you think you could drink a cup of aloes every day? No. The point I'm making is that coffee, with its benefits, because coffee does have benefits, but the problem with coffee is that the nose or the nays outweigh the yays, because coffee is a stimulant and a diuretic. So it means that when you drink coffee, it causes your body to lose the mineral. You know which mineral you lose? You lose sodium. How your body works, when sodium begins to leave, water will follow it. So that's what coffee does do. So if you drink 1 cup of coffee for the month, or maybe a week, possibly, I wouldn't kill you for that. But you can't be drinking that every day. Because what you're doing to your body, where the possibility exists, you may already be dehydrated. You're creating a bigger problem. Now, people will talk about, you know, my great-grandmother used to drink coffee. In fact, my great-grandmother used to drink a lot of coffee. When I was young, I used to drink coffee, you know. It's only when I got older and I understood certain things I stopped it. But when I was like small, you know, thing, and I was a granny's boy. So, you know, you sit down there and coffee, you know, so you want to know what's going on and you smell. So, you know, little taste and thing. Right. So the point is, you need to be very careful. You need to be very careful, especially you will realize you are more prone to hypertension when you drink a lot of coffee. Because that sodium, the body losing sodium. But remember, your other minerals are dependent on sodium. Sodium, if your sodium levels are not correct, where you just have cardiovascular problem, muscular problem, because sodium, magnesium, potassium, calcium, those minerals work very, very close together, you know. Most people who have magnesium deficiency, they have problems with calcium. Your thyroid gland is the gland that is actually tell your body how much calcium to release from your bones into your bloodstream. So you see how everything interconnected? So the point I'm making, so the whole long answer to that is not too often. Now there are healthier options you can find. I can do that for you. That's a different thing. But that's coffee infused with other things. So they sort of negate the negative effect of the coffee. That's a different story. But look even this thing, decaf. People don't know decaffeinated coffee worse than coffee, but they drink the coffee. That's like granulated sugar and brown sugar. You know much thing that I do that I wash the sugar, bleach the sugar. You want to give me bleach sugar to drink, or you have to be out of your mind. And then when you get cancer, you're surprised. You want to know why? All those things are cancer causing. They call them carcinogens. The red mango people, the red cherry people, the preservative people, cancer. Lupus. I remember dealing with a person, lupus. Watch me, that's one of the sickest human beings I ever seen in my life. I never see somebody suffer so. 24 years ago. I know what I told them. Because they came to me later because it was late. I couldn't help that person. Kind of ease it a little bit for them, but I really couldn't help them. And I told the parents, I said, if I had gotten this child like about 4 years before, I would have been able to help them. Possibly 2 years. But you see, the problem is they did too many surgeries. They did this, they cut out, they take out, they do this, they do that. And nobody, let me make this point, nobody ever one day sit that lady down and tell her, Mom, you are killing yourself with what you're eating. This person that used to drink water, you know? She used to drink a soft drink every day. She said, Dr. Batson, I hate water. I said, I know. That is why you're sick, sir. So Trinidad and Tobago, don't do yourself that. Your body is a very, 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 he don't make. They with you, you know. But when you start to play the fool, your body don't forget. Where's the word for people who, what did it call for people who just hold grudges? What did it call them again? I forget the word. But you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, you know, but your body bad mind. Bad mind, bad. See, she say you do me. All right, I will deal with you. And it has certain organs that more bad mind than others. Your heart, you see your heart? Your heart is a loyal organ. That organ will take. When you see you get a heart attack, know you're real form the fool. You look for that. I tell you look for that. Because your heart could take licks. You see your liver could take some lash too. But you see your kidney? Nah, your kidney don't tolerate foolishness at all. Your horn dies that are gone. That's how your kidney does operate. So don't play with that organ. You see your eyes too? Unforgiving organ. Don't play the fool with your eyesight. Let us remember. You see your nerves too? Don't play with that. So do what it is you need to do. That is why we have so much. Listen to me. If you open a dialysis center in the morning in Trinidad and you have 50 machines inside and they full up, in a week time they could fill up that for you. And you still have space. You still don't have enough. We're not looking good. We're not looking good. So don't have high blood pressure. And I'm talking to the men this morning especially. On his fathers, husband, brothers. This country losing too much of people dying from sickness in this place. When they realize the population in this country ain't going up. How long will they hear in Trinidad is 1.3 million? I fed up here and I said, but these people are not accounting. I had worked with the government, with the Central Statistical Office some years ago. I said, when normally they do census was every 10 years or every 20 years. When they checked the other day, I think we only must have about 1.4. So in all that space that time, we only got about 100,000. But then check the murders too. And then they're killing people who give them trouble. So all that mix and then nobody really making children. Because that's the next thing, we have a fertility problem. Plenty young people can't conceive. I don't want young people in their 20s, you know. You have some mature tanties, they could put on some baby. These young ladies and them serious problems. You know why? Polycystic ovaries, fibroids, ovarian cysts, endometriosis. Why? Because you're not drinking water. And this thing that they call chicken or they love, or they wouldn't even say that, oh God, let me take a rest and eat some fish. If chicken could live in some of their mouth, or they would be happy. First, all they love a fried chicken. No. You have to change that. Especially as a female. You see, men too and all having a lot of problems. It's because you don't understand. Know what it is you're dealing with. Now, somebody will say, but he talking about that. Where you are we to get chicken? I don't know. You know what I am? They're selling chicken. And you don't even want to buy feed. That bush you could get them. My great grandmother used to feed them chicken, used to get rice and peas and all kind of things, them chicken, and them used to eat it, you know. And then she give them molasses and line them out and all kind of thing. And when you see them chicken and them fat and nice, but healthy. So it's that thing you could do. Because if you're always making an excuse, where there is a will, there's a way. You have to mind your business. Because when you're sick, and that's the next thing a lot of people don't understand. I deal with somebody recently. And I said, let me ask you something. The doctor tell you anything about diet? He said, no. The doctor said, you don't really have to make no sort of changes to your diet. And this person was diagnosed with cancer. Yeah, that was my thoughts exactly. I said, and you believe that? I said, you take that, you take that bait, ship it, sir. And you will ask a question. Anytime you deal with cancer, we know, I think everybody know that now. You cannot eat the same way that you was eating before. You go have cancer and sit down and eat hamburger and fried chicken and bacon. You mad? That's mad people behavior. No, you cannot do that. Diet is fundamental to anything. Diabetes, I tell people I just eat, like if I have diabetes, I don't know diabetes. My A1C, I checked him last time, it was 5.2 or some kind of nonsense. So low, but I don't drink soft drink. I don't. Juice is something I leave juice off a long time. If I drink a juice, I might drink juice once a month. You have to do better than that. All right, so those telephone numbers, and keep in mind we have that special running. That special is going to be with the live blood, the dry blood, magnetic resonance analysis, foot detox, and the consultation. And what we also do in God's willing, in September, we're supposed to have a promotion called the Family Tree. And that is going to be a lecture series where you're going to get a consultation, your blood analysis, your consultation, your blood analysis, your foot detox. And that is going to be for 3 persons, but we compress the price. So we're actually giving you a pretty good discount. Because we know COVID went and whatever the case may be, we try the best. When you talk to people, we know money is a seed, right? So we need to try and fix the thing. And that's why I say, where there's a will, there's a way. Must have something you could do. But don't sit down there. So that family of 3, here how that working. You get yourself and 2 other persons. We're going to put it up because we just finalizing the price, but it's going to be a significant discount. So the thing is, it was designed family tree. So it could be a husband, a wife, and a child, but it could also be 3 girlfriends. Or you have a partner, hey boy, Batson having something, boy, you have a thing, you could go, you can get this check. It's a good price. We do that on a Saturday. And we'll have it organized accordingly. So that's something you can look forward for, where you at least you'll have an idea of what is going on with you. Because that's the next thing. There's some people walking around good. Let me ask you something very quick before we take the next question. Most people who are diagnosed with cancer or who have been diagnosed with cancer, go and ask them when they find out they have cancer. Most of the time, you don't feel cancer, Late. The only time you feel is when Mr. Tumor started running, he started moving, and he said, but wait, I get a pain, or feeling something growing here. When you go on the scan, it's because, hey, well, you pray to God they didn't cut you. Because if they cut you, that is it. So you have fast and say, well, here, what? Make your will, decide where, whatever you think, and organize your business. And I'm not being facetious. That is a serious thing. Cancer does not hurt. As one of my good colleagues say, cancer don't hurt you, so Most of the time when people find out they have cancer, it's stage what? Stage 4, stage 5. So why are you waiting for that to happen to you? Don't do yourself that. So telephone numbers, again, keep in mind those open clinic days, those office locations. We are located on the first floor of Money Talks building. That is Money Talks building in Montrose, Chaguanas. We are also on the corner of Ramsey Trace and the SS Erie Main Road in Debe. That number is 223-7515. Debe's number is 223-7515. St. James is 220-8113. That's 220-8113. And Tobago is the Triangle Building in Scarborough, Tobago. That number is 226-4553. Again, 226-4553. You're listening to Dr. Jason Batson, the Senior Medical Director at Batson and Associates, supporting your health naturally. Mr. Dominic, sir?
All right. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning to the hardworking Dominic Andre. Now, we're not from sunny south, but from blinky south there, that's not so blinky. We started out slightly, but it's very cold down here in Canada, boy.
I know you're a I know you're a meteorologist now, but what you
I would say what you do is moderately. Now, because some people say they can't use salt, they can't use sugar, but I believe the body needs a bit of both, yeah?
Right.
When going up, we overdo, we abuse stuff, like drinking things, sweet and things like that, right? And right. I know my sister, when she makes juice, but like sweet water, the color sometimes I've done abuse.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, back to coffee, right? Now, I work in utilities and I work like 6 and 7 in the morning. I just take my coffee and it's kind of vitalized here.
Right.
And people who go to wakes and stuff like that, they use the coffee to keep awake, right?
Right.
And I never eat wake, right? But those I don't care. But people take coffee and wake, right?
Right.
So my life is that people abuse
right, man. I'll call you meteorologist now. Yeah, but I'm going to a meteorological office and see if you can see if you can go and gather and in the back end by St. Augustine. They have one, I think somewhere in St. Augustine they're supposed to have one there.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's where they look
at
it.
Jump back to the board here quick. All right, again, my friend, 625-2759 or 624-7729. All right. Nope, you didn't send me anything. Good morning, doctor. What can you recommend for a leaky heart valve?
Oh, yeah, that's a thing. Let me just answer the previous caller with the question he asked. So the thing is, a lot of people abuse it, yes, but the point you have to understand is that, as I say, moderation. There are some things, it have no moderation with it. Like I think with soft drink, there is no compromising with that. That's bad for you all wrong. There's nothing good in a soft drink. Nothing. And if we go to describe the other ones, the different brands and things, well, that's our next whole different thing. That and energy drink, and there is no compromise with that whatsoever. But I mean, with the coffee, as I say, if you do coffee once for the month, or you take it, but no, and not for energy. The reason why you get the energy is because of the caffeine. And that high, which is what makes it the stimulant and then the diuretic factor associated with it. So, that's basically where that is concerned. As regards to the question where they talk about, what was the question, sorry?
What can you recommend for a leaky heart valve?
Okay, right. The thing is, once you have leaking valve, CoQ10 is one. I would look at stem cell therapy for that, because that is something that requires some work. I have dealt with persons with valve because they wanted to do valve replacement, and thank God we worked with the individual and they didn't have to correct that situation again. Much healthier now. They're not on any high blood pressure medication or diabetic medication again. So once you're dealing with heart valve, you're looking at, I would recommend things like Optimizer, stem cell. There's a stem cell product that we carry as well. That's very good. Because that is that deals with regenerative, recuperative, restorative work, that type of thing, as it regards to organs and dealing with the body from a cellular level. Because remember, when you're doing anything in the human body, you have to address it from a cellular level. Remember, cells give you tissues give you organs give you organ systems, and organ systems give you the body. So that's fundamentally where you need to address that. We're going to have to tighten up your diet a bit. There are certain things that shouldn't be in the diet. Light exercise in the beginning, but exercise always helps situation, especially kidneys. There are certain organs that love exercise. Kidneys is one of them. Kidneys are organ. Once you exercise, it treats you much better where that situation is concerned. I mean, all organs in general, but there are certain organs specifically that react and respond to exercise very quickly. The cardiovascular, your heart is one of them as well. Okay, so again, those telephone numbers, 222-8261. Keep in mind, we do have road delivery as well. And for your WhatsApp and international clients, that number would be 1-868-314-9975. Again, 868-314-9975.
All right, just so you don't forget, you can give us a call right now. Good morning to the host and Dr. Batson. 2 questions. My mother suffers from anxiety attacks, and she has started the nerve restore 3 months now. She's calmer, but still not sleeping through the night. She falls asleep around 8 p.m., but then is up from 2 till about 5 a.m. Dozes off and then back up again at 6:30. She also drinks chamomile tea, salsap leaf, and still doesn't sleep through the entire night. Any advice on what to do?
Sorry about that. Has she ever done a cleanse? Has she used the Santulan? What it is you purchase? So you can always give me a follow-up answer, right? Because if she used the Nerve Restore, did she use it with the Alkagen water? Now, Nerve Restore is a product that works generally for most people very quickly. The problem a lot of times, if you're dealing with sleep, I suspect in this situation, she needs to watch her water intake. She's a bit dehydrated. She needs to drink more water. And we may have to do some work with the blood circulation, further improving the blood circulation in the brain. So there is the omega with the astaxanthin. There's the laminine omega, which we'd use as well. And then we could use Optimizer. So it's a matter of she's getting circulation to the brain now, but it is still deficient and it needs to be amped up a bit. So as I said, look at the water, look at the detoxification aspect, and like with those teas, the IT is also a good thing too, because the IT helps with blood circulation to the brain. So that's something.
Right, so the follow-up said that she used the water and she is on Santula.
Oh, okay. Well, then you're looking at your omega with your astaxanthin. You need to up that. A lot of people, their omegas in the diet very, very low. And as a result of that, they have deficiency in that fatty acid that actually helps with dealing with brain cells and synaptic response and that type of thing. So I would say, as I said, the omega with the astaxanthin, that will be 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening. The optimizer, 1 with dinner. And I would add some sort of nerve tonic. I could always recommend something for you where that is concerned, and then she should get some more improvement where that is concerned. Sorry.
All right. Good morning, Dr. Batson. I had a hysterectomy 30 years ago. They only took out 1 ovary, but now my lower part of my belly is growing a lot of fat. I exercise regularly, eat less, and it's not going away. I also feel very weak at times, as though I want to faint.
Okay, all right. Just now, I'm going to go to that question, back to that question one minute. Let me just address something quickly here, Dominic. So on Instagram, someone by the name of Thriving in Chaos 95. Where all of us get these Instagram names? Okay. I'm 27 and got COVID twice, and my right lung is damaged, and I have to start the chest clinic soon. What products do you have to help with the lungs? Excuse me. Good point. The silver or the mineral formula is going to help you. We're going to have to do a protocol for that. I actually dealt with someone recently who had COVID 6 times. Yeah, 6 times. Yeah, it was bad, and they got antibiotics. They were really, really badly off. But we corrected the situation, and they're like 95%, well, not 95, they're about 80% better, because it's only 3 months now, right? So what I was saying, we have the lungs tea. We also have, there's a particular product that we use, which is designed specifically for lungs. That as well is also a very good help. The silver, the mineral formula, the inflammation formula is also good for that as well, because you need to get the inflammation down. If you have problems with severe lung issue after COVID, check Batson and Associates. That's a walk in the park, because I'll tell you something. If you don't correct that situation, you will always be susceptible to lung infection, which can later on lead to things like tuberculosis, bronchitis, pneumonia, asthma, those type of things. So you need to be very careful. All right. So that was for Thriving in Chaos 95. I don't know if you're still on the Instagram live, but you would be able to get that information there. So with that being said, Dominic, just run back that particular question with the lady and the...
All right, so that message. I had a hysterectomy 30 years ago. They took out 1 ovary.
Right.
But now the lower part of my belly is growing a lot of fat. I exercise regularly, eat less, and it's not going away. I also feel weak at times, as though I want to faint.
Excuse me. Okay, well, the thing is, when you do hysterectomies or any type of major surgery, especially to that part of the body, you can end up with something known as scar tissue and adhesions, and that could actually make your belly look fatter. So you're going to have to burn that. You could also end up with easier storing visceral fat, which is organ fat, which I believe you may have more of that. And we need to work on that situation. So you need to look at your hormones there. So women's formula will definitely be a plus. Santulan could also help you. But if you said, not if you're feeling weak, you wouldn't be able to use Santulan one time. You may have to use Santulan like about 30 days after, and use the silver or the mineral formula, the advanced chlorophyll, the optimizer product, as well as the digestive balance. And with those now, we build you up. And then subsequent to that, we can do the cleanse. And once you deal with the hormones, you should get results because you're exercising. You know, what you may have to do some banning of your stomach, your belly. That is something that helps in actually helping to help with the visceral fat and movement. The castor oil is also a very good thing in terms of the application on the belly. You warm the castor oil, you can mix it half and half with like either olive oil or coconut oil, and you actually get the plastic wrap, those glad wrap, and wrap yourself before you go to sleep. that actually helps with lymphatic drainage and cleaning the lymphatic system. It's also very good for women to put under their arms to prevent like breast cancer. That's the castor oil. They do that about twice for the week. It helps with the lymphatic system and really stimulated the lymphatic aspect of the body. And remember, your lymphatic system is the system that actually cleans your circulatory system. So proper blood circulation is significantly dependent on the proper functioning of the lymphatic system. Okay?
All right. 625-2759 or 624-7729. Now, folks, I know that you're calling. Dr. Batson just goes in depth. All right? Don't blame Dominic. All right. Doc, very quickly, any updates on Santalan Slim?
Yes. The update is that we're closer, we're more sooner than later. What we just needed to do was just finish our stuff with food and drug. So we are looking at about a month again. I know you all, and somebody said, Dr. Batson, should I never announce that product?
Should I never?
No, I forgot. I thought I was living in a first world country, so I forgot a moment and I just said, so I thought everything would have finished now.
You know, you're saying that there, and all through the program this morning, I'm hearing this song in my head, the price of progress is high.
I hear you.
I just saying to myself, you know, we're so rich, we're so full of stuff in this country, and yet the wrong things, full of sickness now.
Yeah, full of sickness and crime.
Let's take this call. Hey, good morning to you. I'm not doing that, sir.
But Dominic, they're trying to, that person has some medicine for you.
Listen,
if
you're willing to pay my visits at Dr. Batson, for Dr. Batson, you let me know. Send me a message first and then we can go through that line. All right, let's see. Is it safe to eat raw aloes? Just wash it off and eat it.
The thing is, I wouldn't suggest you do that. It's better you blend the aloes with something else and drink it. They normally put aloes with a little molasses, in water, and you blend it and you drink it. The thing with aloes has a component in it which could be very dangerous. It actually induces cramp, which is why when you're using aloes, you don't know what you're doing. So you're supposed to peel the aloes properly. So you don't want the greenish part of the aloes, or you don't want to consume that. That is what has caused the cramps. So if you take a piece of maybe about about an inch or 2 inch, you peel it, you cut it, you throw it in a pasteurizer with some water, some coconut water. You drink that in between, once in a while. You're all right. But aloes is something you have to be careful with, especially women, because aloes could cause your menstrual cycle to be heavier. So if it is a good thing, but you just have to know how you're using it and what you're using it with. Okay?
Okay. Well, to be foretold is to be forewarned. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. All right. Hello, good morning to you. All right.
I guess I'm something like
that. No, just listen on the phone.
Listen on the phone. When you call the radio, do not leave your radio on. You're going to get Dominic a lot of feedback. I get any feedback and I leave in the studio. So
just doesn't have on headsets.
Yeah.
All right. Next up. Good morning. Can you repeat the offer for September? We will get to that a little later on, my friend. All right. We will clear up all the specials for September and whatnot. Even when you're talking about September, Doc, I was thinking, we should get men involved. Men, bring your boys on them. Bring your brothers. Bring your fathers. Just come through. All right. Let's see. Okay, back on the phone again. Good morning to you.
Morning. I am to know. Morning.
Yes, go right ahead.
I would like to know, your breathing problem, what is the best thing to do for it?
Breathing problems?
Yes.
All right. This is North DM.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
So we have breathing problems.
Okay, so if you're in breathing problems, well, first of all, what caused the breathing problem? Is it that you have been died? Is it that it's been around a lot of dust? You work in an atmosphere or in a place where you're dealing with chemicals or that type of thing. So usually when you have breathing problems, it could be one or two things. Some people get viruses, and there's even pre-COVID, where you can get the cold and you could end up with something known as a post-nasal drip, where you actually have like a dry cough. And all those things can influence and stay and get worse. Usually, when you get infections in the body, if the infections are not dealt with properly, and when I say properly, not only antibiotics, but there is follow-up afterwards with some sort of natural protocol, especially to put back the probiotics in the system, you could end up with a more weakened immune system. And as a result of that, you have a severe lung infection that is not going. So what we're going to have to do, we're going to have to get rid of that infection. And we have to get rid of the inflammation in that part of the body. And that's where we use things like the lungs tea, the inflammation formula, the silver with mineral formula, enzymes dependent. If I get somebody with a real bad lungs, like I remember dealing with someone who had COPD, that's a serious situation. They actually was on an oxygen tank and they got some really, really good results. They're not as dependent on the tank as they was before. In fact, they can actually go out and not use it, right? And that's because we actually had to work now and put back and remove the scar tissue. The thing is, when you get scar tissue in your lungs, which a lot of people get scarring as a result of COVID, is a virus that causes a lot of scarring in the lungs. Hence the reason long COVID, which is an inflammatory lung condition subsequent to COVID. So that is something that you need to pay attention to. And there are things that we can use to deal with that. We normally put you on a protocol. Then 6 weeks after, 5 weeks after, we do a review with you, see improvement, find out how you're going, and then we will continue from there. If you are in the chest clinic and you have to do chest x-rays and whatnot, well, of course, we'll make comparisons. Or if you do CT scans of your chest and that type of thing. We must have some sort of empirical data to guide us in terms of the improvement that you would get. So it's not only you feeling better, but you actually have a CT scan that's saying, hey, you had a cyst on your lungs, you had a hill, you have something mass here, you have this, now we do for the new one, it's not there, or the mass smaller, whatever the case may be. Okay?
Caller, good morning to you.
Yes, good morning. What I'm interested in, this situation with Michael sometimes very numb, not very heavy, but I wonder if it's a circulation problem and what could be done about it. Also, I noticed a growth over my eyes that went close to the eyeball, which could interfere with my eyesight. And I need to have an idea, please.
Wait, just, hello? Yes, yeah, the growth is inside the eye or on the lid, or inside the eye?
Hello?
Yeah, yes, sir?
Caller, are you here with us?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm hearing.
All right, wonderful. The doctor is speaking to you here.
Yes, sir. Yeah. I'm asking, is the growth inside of the eye?
No, it's more or less on the eyeball from one corner, let's say the corner close to the nose, going across to the eyeball.
Yeah, so it's in the eye itself. That's something called pterygium. It looks like a piece of flesh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something they call it pterygium. It actually spelled with a P. Yeah. So you can listen off the air.
Pardon?
I said you can listen off the air. Yeah. Yeah, so as regards to the growth in the eye, that's something they call pterygium, which is a growth that people get. People who work in any industry that deals with a lot of dust get that problem. So upholsterers get it, seamstresses, tailors, masons, those type of people, because you have dust from cloth, right? Fabric, right? Anyway, and the first part of the question he asked was, what was the first part of the question, Mike? Okay, just now I remember it. I got distracted because I was looking at the Instagram. There were two questions that I saw there. I remember it just now, but as I go along, I remember. So, as regards to the
feeling a sense of dizziness or something like that. I can't remember verbatim, but I believe it was
yeah, well, as regards to dizziness, well, people who have problems with dizziness, it has a lot to do with, lack of blood circulation to the brain. Even as regards to eye problems. You find that when you have problems with your eyes, it's usually an indication of poor circulation to the brain as well. So that's something you can pay attention to. The eye optics formula works very well for that pterygium, because I've dealt with a lot of persons with it. It works well for cataract, glaucoma, detached retina, those type of things as well. And as regards to the situation with the package, as I said, that is what we're doing for September. So, 3 persons at a particular point in time would be addressed, and we'll deal with it like that. But we're going to have some more information, and of course, those of you who may not have added us or liked us on Facebook, we are Batson Associates Limited on Facebook. On Instagram, we are Batson Associates TT, and on YouTube, we are Batson Associates Trinidad. Let me just answer this question for this person on Instagram. Mr. Dale is asking the question, what do you suggest to promote deeper sleep? Apart from improving your water intake, breathing exercise is also a very good thing as well. But the Nerve Restore is very good because the Nerve Restore is an adaptogen. We actually have Nerve Restore on special. So once you call the office or you go in the office for Nerve Restore and inflammation formula, brace them. They have a discount for you. Make sure and ask for your discount.
Sure. All right. Good morning. Thanks for asking. That's right. I'm always asking about each other. That's right. Let's see. Good morning, Doc. Did you get the cerebral formula at the St. James office?
Yes, they have. They have cerebral formula. You could call again to confirm, but I know we got that product. So yeah.
All right. Caller, good morning to you. All right, I'll be back. Good morning, Dr. Batson. Can your shoulders be affected by carpal tunnel surgery? Also, my daughter had dental surgery 2 Saturdays ago, and after the surgery, she started getting a weakness in her left hand and sometimes in her foot.
Okay. Well, the thing is, if you're dealing, okay, so let me deal with the dental surgery. But remember, once you do any type of surgery, especially dental surgery, remember your gum is a funny thing, eh? So the dentist is supposed to call you back or have some follow-up close after. So I don't know if you all would have done that, because God forbid you get any sort of infection or anything like that. The thing is, yeah, you could end up with some problems, and that could poison you. So, but I'm not saying it is that, but you should have a follow-up with the dentist. Call the dentist and ask them, watch your water intake, a lot of intake. I don't know if you did extractions. I don't know what the surgery involved, but once you would have done work that involved your teeth, your gum, yeah, you need to be careful. You need to be very careful with that, because if you have infections, they would have had to give you antibiotics, or depending on the seriousness of whatever the situation was, the dentist would have worked up appropriately. What you could do for yourself is take cold water out of the diet. You're not supposed to be using anything cold. Kind of include some hot teas in the regime, no milk, no sugar. Increase your water intake. But you should definitely get back to the dentist and let them know. It could be some sort of neuropathy situation as a result of, some sort of infection or pathogen that must have gotten in there or haven't been gotten rid of completely, and it causing some problems. What was the first part of the question?
The first part was she's asking, can your shoulders be affected by carpal tunnel surgery?
Yes, it can be. It can be. Carpal tunnel surgery is a surgery I always tell people that's a waste of time surgery. You're spending top in money. Should I go and get yourself some proper omega, get one of those balls, do some physiotherapy, get some enzyme formula, eliminate cold things from the diet, and you would have seen some improvement in carpal tunnel. I've dealt with a lot of persons with carpal tunnel who were told that they had to do surgery. Let me say this quickly, the CMOS people, all they make sure and drink all their CMOS for me, please. All they know all their bones bad, all they knee rubbing and knee, do not go and let anybody put any injection in all their knee, please. All they still doing this foolishness. And letting people inject and put things inside out here. What sense, tell me if this making sense. Somebody telling you we're going to inject fluid in the knees to bring, no, that cannot work. How that would not work? Tell me. This Star Wars business, all they want to be following. No, that cannot work. You have to deal with that internally. Stop the acid, you reduce the acid. Once you have high levels of acid, you are going to end up with no cartilage in your knees. You're going to end up with problems with sciatica, problems with herniated disc, all those type of things, because the excess acid is wearing down those material that's supposed to be designed as a cushion. It's being worn off. But the thing is, nutrition-wise, supplemental-wise, there are things that you could use to correct that situation.
Good morning to you.
Hi, Maya. Happy Independence to Trinidad and Tobago. Mr. Batson or Dr. Batson, how are you doing?
I am good, I am good. Happy Independence to you as well.
Touch a bit on dry eye, please.
On dry eye?
You can get some drug for dry eye.
Okay.
Over the
Okay, no problem.
I use tears and citron and another one. I remember the name. And not doing anything, and I have this for almost 5 years now.
This is the
Same dry eyes is something with you, right?
right. Yeah, because I was getting like a feedback from her, so I wasn't hearing that clearly. Yeah. Okay. So the thing is, if you have dry eyes, the thing is your cornea. People who end up with problems with their cornea are usually people who have dry eyes because of where your cornea located. It is primarily lubricated by tears and by some level of moisture in the eyes. If you have dry eyes, it's very easy for you to end up with cornea problems. Now, usually people who have dry eyes, if it is not, some people, the tear ducts, their problem with the tear ducts, I don't believe is that. A lot of times it has to do with your nutrition, right? So you need to look at your water intake. The eye optics formula would help with dry eyes. The MSM would also help as well because that actually improves the and cleans your eye or detoxify the eye. So sometimes, depending on what your profession may be, that's something you need to pay attention to. As I said, people who work with a lot of dust, people who work in various chemicals like hairdressers, auto mechanics, nail techs, you need to be very careful with your eyes because you can take toxins in the body via the eyes ocularly, and that could cause a lot of serious issues. So that's something that you need to pay close attention to where that is concerned. But off the top of my head, the IT and the eye optics formula is something you should give a try, and I believe you're going to get some very good results. But also look at your hydration as regards to how much water you're drinking on a daily basis, as regards to half your body weight divided by 2 in ounces. Very, very important.
All right. So folks are now joining us, Dr. Batson. So I'm going to recap anything, but if you would like to give the numbers at this time.
Yes, definitely. So the telephone numbers here, you can call for those locations. For Shogunas, Shogunas is located on the first floor of Money Talks building. That is Money Talks building in Montrose, Shogunas. That telephone number is 222-8261. That's 222-8261. For Debe, Debe is located on the corner of Ramsey Trace and the SS Erie Main Road in Debe. That telephone number is 223-7515. That's 223-7515. And for St. James is located at Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road, St. James. That number is 220-8113. That's 220-8113. And Tobago, I know Tobago, we finally got our stuff organized. Finally, we're finishing up your office material, everything. That telephone number is 226-4553. That's 226-4553. So God's willing, by the end of September, we should have a new office in Tobago where we'll be able to give you all what you deserve, your foot detox and your massages and your everything. So we're making some progress in that regard. And as regards to what Dominic asked concerning the backup you're doing for Nadia with the jelly, some jelly reach, but not any big set of jelly. So as far as we're concerned, no jelly reach.
Unless you're listed, right?
Oh, he said that like he listed, you know. He listed.
He said that like he listed, and the message that he genuinely gets. So please. All right. So my friends, again, we're taking your calls. Please turn off your radio. Listen to us on the phone. And once there's a conversation happening with you and the doctor, you're going to have to really take your time and listen, all right? Let's go back to the lines. Hello, good morning. You're not there yet. All right, cool. Back to the board. I bought the resort Friday. I did not get the discount.
All right, we have money for you. Because I told them that. No. And that was memo to all officers. So I apologize that you didn't get a discount, sir or ma'am, whoever you are, but you have a credit inside. We'll organize you. All right?
They'll organize, all right, moving on. You see, so my friend is just listening online. Love Dr. Batson program. Tobago, I do apologize. We're going to get this thing sorted out in Tobago. I promise you, all right? Yeah. Let's see. Good morning, Dominic and Dr. Batson. What is your opinion on avocado seed tea for building the immune system and for inflammation? What is your recommendation for its use?
Avocado seed?
Avocado seed tea.
Well, after, well, it's supposed to be something good. And what they realize is that avocado seed has a lot of antioxidants inside of it. And I always hear my great grandmother say that. I say these old people was real wise, you know. And what they said is that it actually helps to keep kidney problems at bay. It is very good for the immune system and that kind of thing. So use your avocado tea seed.
Well, I'm almost surprised that you tell me you tried to blend this at least once.
To tell you, no. Well, you know it have a backstory. You know, I don't want to give you backstory. It have a backstory for that. But if that, no, that's serious thing. That's serious business. Yeah, because my great grandmother used to say that, and I really did. So you see, Dominic, all you know is so good. I had great down some avocado seed, but I feel the mistake I feel I used too much. Because I ended up very, very sleepy, and I had to go on like, yeah. But it really has some powerful benefits to it as well. One of the things I did some research on, and I didn't know how powerful it was soursop seeds. The seed of the soursop itself. Now there are few people that actually grind down that, but I think it's somewhere. Is it in Indonesia or in the Philippines? There's something that they make with it, and that is actually a big health situation there. Even you know what we call ratchet. You know ratchet, right? You know ratchet is actually used. You know there's eat ratchet, right? Yeah, there's eat ratchet. Ratchet is the South Americans call it apalea. So what? Yeah, so they actually cook it. It's actually very good for your skin. It's good for blood pressure. It's very good for circulation. That type of thing. So, yeah, that thing.
That thing. All right, let's see. Your voice note here. Let's take that.
Hi, good morning, Dominic. I'm Dr. Batson. Dr. Batson, do you carry black seed oil? Or if you don't, is it that I could use a particular brand, or is it that any black seed oil will be okay to use?
Very good questions. I use it.
Brand specific.
Brand specific. Yeah, well, they get the learn
program.
Yes. Let's sponsor a program. The ones that they have right now, because they don't really have much brands. It's primarily one particular brand that they have on the market right now. You can use it. It's good. There's an exceptional one, but that is being branded for me specifically because I went and I sourced these people that I nearly end up in Iraq. That's to tell you because that part of the world, their black seed oil is usually very good when you're dealing with people in that part of the world. But it's a very good thing. I usually use a teaspoon every morning or every other morning. I am actually running very low on my supply right now. I think I have 160-ounce bottle. And that's low for me because I normally have like about 4 bottles. Because it's something that I have a lot of respect for. I have done a lot of work with it when I was doing some research, especially with the immunology. Black seed oil is one of the most powerful things for the immune system. So definitely all out. We do not sell as yet, but very soon we look at. Let me say very soon, next year, early next year, God willing, we should have those things settled in terms of packaging and everything. So once it reaches Trinidad, it's packaged bottle. I don't have that stress, right? But you could get.
Imagine how Dr. Batson daily routine when it comes to supplementation is like. Like Dr. Batson will say, you take this and you take that and you take this. You can imagine what that counter does look like. The counter must be littered with glass water.
And you know something, Dominic, I'll tell you something quickly. Yeah? I was just telling somebody that recently because somebody came home by me, someone of my family, and I know people just want to come there, so I just like to give them in the gallery and by the front. How you reach in the kitchen? How you reach in the kitchen to see on top of my fridge to say, hey, all of this thing you're taking, but you know family. So I said Mary, because you know when there's a woman and you're giving trouble, it's Mary. I said, Mary, but how you reach inside so far? You come for something that by the gallery, you reach inside the kitchen. So in any case, it had a few things well, and I was saying, she's like, is all of this you just use? I said, yes, but I have it scheduled a particular way. Because you even have things in the fridge too, because I open the fridge and I say it have things that are stay in the fridge. But the point is, when you do that supplementation, you really just feel the difference. You really, 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 really feel the difference. So Trinidad and Tobago, mind your business. If you're still one of the people who living under a rock or who under the sea that still believe that you're not supposed to do cleanse and detox and you're not supposed to take supplements, I am so sorry for you. So sorry. You need to to supplement your diet, you need. Very, very important. And a lot of the times, you end up deficient as a result. You want some guidance? No problem. Say you want some guidance. Say you don't know. But don't say it is not necessary and you don't need to. Don't do that to yourself. Because let me tell you something. The doctors who just tell people that they're not supposed to cleanse, then this come by Batson Associates and baby. They just go quite down there. If I have point 40, they might have reached down there. Anyway, they could go to where they know what people see them coming. Because let me tell you something. They just buy the thing, eh? So don't play stupid.
All right, let's take this call. Good.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
I'm going to give an answer. Okay, and my children were going to be bigger. That is, either that is short. So I don't know what could let this for what maybe about 2 or 3 months now.
So, all right, so now you click on your left. Tingle.
Yeah, you get a tingle. It's from the shoulder to the tip of the fingers.
All right. You can listen to it.
Well, watch me, you hit the nail on the head there, you know. Now, what you have to understand, if you sleep on your left hand, that could be a reason. Eh? You know that some people sleep like this or like this. Some people who have bad sleeping positions. Eh? That's our next whole program by itself. But if it's not that, it is usually the left side of your body is always an indication of poor circulation, but it is also an indication of stroke. So the possibility exists that you could have some serious poor circulation problems. Now, that's not to frighten you. 2/3 of your heart lies to the left of your body, right? So poor circulation usually always is left assigned. Now, the thing is, if you get a stroke and your left side is affected, the stroke was really on the right side of the brain. But the right side of the brain affects the left, and then the left affects the right. So, and then it depends on which aspect of the brain is affected. But I would say that's poor circulation. I would pay attention to your water intake. It could also be mineral deficiency, dehydration. So you're looking at things like your alkaline water. I know circulation tea, that's one of the teas that we waiting on. We usually have that. That's a very popular one. We should have pu'er, we should have hawthorn. I know we have oolong. We have hypertension, we have blood sugar, those type of things. So you could always get some of the teas, IT, that type of thing, and you start to work with it. The inflammation formula is also very good. We're going to start back having balanced circulation and circulation plus, because since COVID, our suppliers had some issues there, but they have now corrected that. So, you know, I always try to have a lot of things for circulation because of how important circulation is in the body. So, sir, that's one of the things that you need to pay attention to, where that is concerned. That could be early signs of, you know, some sort of serious poor circulation, stroke is situation. So, that is an emergency. Deal with that one then.
Okay, next up. What causes the cravings for ice?
Ice is normally people who are anemic, means your blood count low. Now, I'm glad they asked that question. Now, there are some people who come to me, and from the time you come to me, let me make sure I'm saying this. If I observe, let me know, see if I look into your eyes. Because only if I do an examination, then I'll do that. But I could observe your eyes, and a lot of people blood count low and they don't know. So, and I'll tell you why. A lot of ladies now, when you're dealing with it, and there was this particular lady, her blood pressure was 100. You see, when your blood pressure is very low, your top number. So, like if you see your blood pressure, especially if you're a man, men blood pressure usually, your systolic, usually don't go below a 115. On a good day, if you may be somebody who swims, so you're athletically inclined, so you swim a lot, you may be a track and field person, that type of thing, you can hit my 110. But generally, men, especially men in the 50s, and you don't get blood pressure under 110. If your blood pressure under 110, check yourself. You're anemic. And women, well, let's give away with you. You're feeling cold quick, you're feeling to eat ice, you're feeling very weak, very tired, your blood count low. Or some aspect of the blood requires attention. Because you know, the aspect for your blood, when people look at blood count, hematologists will tell you that blood count in itself, when you're looking at MCVH and MC and total blood count and all those things, you're looking at hemocrit and hemoglobin, and it's a whole, blood is very technical if it is you're breaking and stripping blood down into various aspects. So the point is, you may not necessarily have low blood count, or you may not necessarily be diagnosed as being anemic. However, you have a blood situation where your blood is not as healthy as it's supposed to. Like, for example, people who have thalassemia, things like, you ever hear people say how they have a tracer sickle? Or those are normally people who have situations with their blood. Your blood is not as healthy as it's supposed to. And usually, we have helped a lot of people successfully with that. So that's something that, but it is an indicator of serious low blood count or an anemic situation.
All right. Hey, so we take your calls at 625-2759 or 624-7729, 625-2759 or 624-7729. You can send us your messages right now at 333-9950, 333-995-0. Caller, good morning to you. Welcome.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm trying to go on the radio.
Thank you.
Okay, good morning again. Can you hear me better now?
I appreciate you so much.
Thank you so much. I
Yes.
really needed help.
Okay.
I've been to Unicef. Basically, the last 2 weeks I had very difficulty fasting urine, especially in the night, and constipated, and it just came on like that. So I ended up in the hospital.
Whoa.
They didn't want to do a test, ran several blood tests. They said it's not the kidneys. The creatinine fluctuates between high and normal. I went to a nephrologist.
Right.
The don't think it's that. But they think it might be that the polycystic ovaries and the fibroids is pressing against the bladder and it's pressing against the colon.
Right.
And the surgery, which I don't want to do. I've spent a lot of money last week, as you can imagine, with CTs and all of that.
Yeah, that's going to be a costly process.
I'm begging right now because I'm under a lot of stress all the time, fasting urine very frequently, and I can't do it right.
Okay, but tell me something. So since you did the CTs and you would have done the ultrasound, so the ultrasounds identified that you have fibroids and polycystic ovaries?
Yes. And it identified that some years ago, I went to a gynecologist in the hospital.
Right.
And they said the abdomen was too small.
Right.
But when they did the colonoscopy, they are seeing something external pushes into the colon. I wouldn't call the name of the specialist, but I'm sure you are aware of who.
Aware who, yeah. Yeah. Right.
She's of the opinion that it's fibroid pushing
into the colon. Yeah, that's very.
Huh?
I said that's very possible. I've seen that before. So that is actually going to.
Nephrologist is thinking the difficulty fasting urine, both starting and ending.
Right.
It's probably as well pushing against the bladder because I'm going to the bathroom like every 15 seconds. Yeah.
So there's some sort of pressure being applied and as a result of that. And you usually find that, especially if the fibroids are intramural, which is fibroids in the wall themselves. Those are the ones that gives the most amount of problem. Well, what you could do, we could definitely help that situation, but I'm going to get some more information from you as regards to, if you're on any medication, whatever the case may be, so I can guide you accordingly and start to deal with that. What I could tell you off the top, though, your water intake, how much water you feel you're drinking? Honestly, yeah?
Honestly, I put 10 glasses.
About 10 glasses of water. What do you have any issue or aversions to apple cider vinegar?
If I have anyone?
Aversion. So in other words, this is something that if you use, it would aggravate your stomach. You don't like it, anything like that.
That's strictly 50 pounds. I can use it. I can use it 50 pounds.
Right.
But I've lost a lot of weight because I've got issues.
Got issues, right. Yeah, and that's why I'm saying, because that situation started in your gut to know. That's where everything starts. So what I would suggest you do, eliminate any cold beverages. All your water should be room temperature, and try and introduce some hot teas into the diet at least twice for the day, 2 to 3 times. Even if it just means you just take hot water, or when I say hot, you know what I mean, right? Like if you're drinking tea, and you put like maybe even if it's bay leaf, or you put there's a tea that we normally carry at Batson and Associates, which actually helps with that whole wound situation. I could always get some more information for you where that is concerned. And we start to deal with it where that is concerned. But I can help you in that situation because I had persons who had that. Because you don't really want them to cut that in, but you don't want it to reach the point where it is an emergency and then you have no other choice in the matter. You understand?
So what do you suggest?
You're gonna and which all right, don't worry, call. Okay, do me a favor. 314.
What is that?
I'll give you a number here. Write it down for me. Please. 314.
Yes.
9975.
Uh-huh.
Send your information to that number. So just message, I am so and so. I spoke to Dr. Batson on the radio about so and so, and leave a number, and I'll get back to you tomorrow, please, Lord. So I'll be able to guide you accordingly. No problem, my dear. Take care of yourself.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
All right, 625-2759 or 624-7729. And of course, take your messages at 333-9950.
Pleasant good morning to Dr. Batson. Can you tell me if CMOS can be taken for sciatica nerve issue in the back as well?
Yeah, the answer is yes. You see, the thing with CMOS, you have to understand, CMOS consists of 96 different minerals, manganese, magnesium, calcium, those type of things, which are very supportive for the musculoskeletal system. Now, a lot of people don't understand when we're talking about musculoskeletal, you're dealing with muscles, yes, your bones, tendons, ligaments, synovial fluid, all those things. So it would help sciatica. Sciatica is when the lumbar vertebrae pressing on the sciatic nerve and it have a problem. So because that pressing on the nerve, the nerves does not have access to proper circulation. So you're going to be getting like pins and needles, cramping in your cars. You're going to be getting that pain radiating from the sciatic nerve. Is usually radiating down the left leg, right? So not the right leg, sorry. Well, right, left, depending. Because some persons left, some persons actually experience both sides, some right alone. So that is definitely the CMOS would definitely help in that situation. Inflammation formula is also a good bet. Some sort of physical manipulation, whether it's chiropractor, physiotherapist, something should be instituted in there as well, because a lot of times you need to be realigned properly and then allow the body to heal itself, repair itself, that type of thing. But definitely, CMOS would help with any musculoskeletal issue in the body. Definitely.
So it's about 20 minutes again for the program today, friends. Good morning. Does radiation help in prostate cancer treatment?
That question is yeah, that's one of those questions. My thing is, look at the research. If you was in business and 5% of your customers was happy, how long you think you'll remain in business, Dominic?
Not long.
Okay, good.
5%.
So yeah, 5%. So go and look at some of the statistics with this chemotherapy and radiation business. As I always tell them, I'm not in the politics of medicine and I have no intentions of getting myself inside of them. I'm as plain spoken as they come. Whenever coming to chemotherapy and radiation, there's a decision that individual needs to make for themselves. So you go and read, the doctor tell you, here what, we have to give you Zoloda, we have to give you Zoladex, we have to give you whichever quick chemotherapy you get, whichever radiation, or how much wrongs you're going to get. That is something that you finally will have to make the decision for. Your children can't even make that decision for you. Your spouse can't make that decision for you. That's between you and God. So that's the best way I could put that. Me personally, I doubt very much. I wouldn't go down that road. Me personally. They come and say, hey, Batson, so and so is the case. Say, all right, no problem. And I would move the suit. You have to keep in mind, let me just tell you something, because there are people with cancer who out there and they suffer, I feel real sorry for them. However, I believe that they are the people who make decisions with the least amount of information. And I have a problem with that. Me personally, any decision I make with me, what you put inside of me, I don't know what it is you're doing. I don't care who he is and how much school you went to. All of you went to school. Plenty people bright now. Till some of them too bright. Right? know what it is you're doing. You read, do your research. What I will leave you with as regards to cancer, once you have cancer, you have to deal with your gut, you have to deal with your immune system, and you have to deal with your diet. If you're not dealing with those three things, you're spinning top in mud. And that's all I have to say. You're spinning top in mud. Cancer is a disease of your immune system. If your immune system is functioning properly, there isn't a type of cancer in this world you can get. Always remember that. So that's what you need to do.
All right. Doug, you carry CMOS at the branches?
No, we do not. That's actually one of the things that we in process of sourcing from one of our very good Caribbean colleagues as regards to that. So that's something that we have on the drawing board to get up and running, so that we have plenty of things coming, even olive oil, because they bringing us stuff nonsense olive oil in the world. Let me just say, I ain't trying to make it like it's Trinidad alone, but a lot of oils they're telling you is this and it's not that. You know, and I'm the type of person I'm very serious when coming to brand and efficacy and potency and that kind of thing. I prefer I charge you, and I know it's a little expensive and it's something proper, than I bring some foolishness for you and give you. I'm not going through that. I'm going through that at all.
No, I have a cholesterol question, but I'm just trying to get some more context for it before we answer, because I know that there are a number of persons who may be assisted when we give this answer. All right, so we take your calls at 625-2759 and 624-7729. And of course, send your messages at 333-9950. Good morning to you. All right, back on the board for a quick moment. Let's see. I am suffering from sciatica nerves down my left leg. What can be done?
So the question would be, have you ever done physiotherapy? You ever do anything like that? Once you deal with sciatic nerve, you deal with pinching. So it means that your spinal column, your core aspect wants some adjusting. And then from the nutrition aspect, you're looking at things that you need to put in your body. There's a product we carry at Batson Associates called Inflammation Formula. That product is actually on special this month. Inflammation Formula, as well as the Nerve Restore. Inflammation Formula is a product that's going to help you. That product is a very good product for musculoskeletal issues and those type of things, simply because it helps to address inflammation or inflammatory response in the body.
Okay. Let's take this one. Good morning to you.
Hi, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
All right, Dr.Batson, what can we use to cleanse like arteries? Because I know the arteries, that the plaque buildup is causing high cholesterol or cause the high blood pressure as well, right? I think I'm right?
Correct.
But what can they use to cleanse the arteries?
All right, very good question. The thing is, when you're looking at cleansing our arteries, it depends on which artery we're speaking about, because you have numerous. And it depends on the degree of blockage. Because some people might be 50% blocked, 60% blocked, that type of thing. There's a product we carry at Batson Associates called Enzyme Formula. That product was bought specifically for dealing with fibrin in the body. Because one of the components of what blocks your artery is a combination of things, is cholesterol, some plaque, some calcium, different minerals, primarily rubbish, oxidative stress that gathers in that area and causes problems. So things like the enzyme formula, circulation plus balanced circulation. Santulan, surprisingly, well, not surprisingly, I shouldn't be so surprised, because Santulan actually has persimmon leaves in it. And persimmon leaves is a product or an ingredient profile that's used in Chinese medicine a lot for the cleaning and cleansing and toning of blood vessels, even the circulation team. So there are some things that we could recommend there to correct that situation, because a lot of people, if you do bypass don't really work. Some people do stenting. So the thing is, you do anything, it's like you put on a, how to put this way, it's like you put on a new dress on the pig or a suit. But the pig is still a pig. You go and roll in the mud again. So the same thing applies to people. You go, you do things, but your diet, your lifestyle wasn't changed. You're going to end up with blocked arteries again. So that's fundamentally it. So look at Enzyme Formula, the circulation plus, balanced circulation, circulation T. And we're going to have a lot of those circulation things back. Because no circulation T we don't have. That is go quick. and we have been bringing additional shipments in. So no, the product popular product, very good product.
Right. Let's see. Okay, so we asked about cholesterol just now there, and we will follow up with this one that I had before. What can be done for high cholesterol? This person said that they don't eat much meat or use saturated oils or eat fried foods. Says they're very slim. Now I know for some the height, weight, age may play a role in it.
Right.
Because we also have somebody who followed up with another message and said that they bought the cholesterol tea from you, and it's working really, really well. I mean, they said that it was it last week, Monday, and it's already showing results.
Okay. Yeah.
So, you know, how do we, one, determine what should be done or what can be done and how much of it needs to be done? Because I know we've discussed on many occasions, you know, there's a diagnosis treatment and then there's a maintenance treatment.
Of course. Yeah, so when you deal with high cholesterol, a lot of time high cholesterol have a lot to do with your liver. Your liver is the organ that produces cholesterol in the body. That is why I'm not an advocate of statins. I don't like them. I find it very dangerous. They can cause serious problems to your liver and interfere with that whole cholesterol balance in the body. And then a lot of times your cholesterol go down too low, and that could cause serious problems, especially with your brain, your eyesight, memory, that type of thing. So when the cholesterol tea is a good save where that is concerned. There's also oats is old school, but oats usually works, but you just have to use it for a period of time. Things like your chia seeds, your flax seed, include your healthy omegas in your diet. Cholesterol, when you have high cholesterol, you need more fiber. So you need soluble fiber and insoluble fiber, which are the two types of fiber you have in the body. Soluble fiber will actually help in the bloodstream, and insoluble fiber helps in the gut. And once your gut is clean and that type of thing, you know you're going to have general improvement in all organ systems in the body, because the gut is the primary organ of the body. So definitely that's something. The enzyme formula I've used with people with stubborn cholesterol too, because some people have some cholesterol and that's years where the liver may be fatty, because a lot of people have fatty liver. That's one of the things that our test is able to pick up. And once you have a fatty liver, it is something that you should be very cautious. The only thing worse than a fatty liver is cirrhosis of the liver. So just 1 degree of badness to the next one. You're in a bad situation, right? So don't be of the opinion when doctors tell you, well, you have a slight fatty. No, a fatty liver is an emergency. Your body is telling you, listen to me. Your liver, in case with a bag of fat, and your liver is not functioning properly. That is what fatty liver is. So do not take that for granted. Remember, your liver is the largest internal organ in the body and one of the organs with the most functions. Your liver is real working. If you notice, the lady was telling me about her creatinine, and she said her creatinine was going up and down. But because the problem with the possible pressing or shifting of organs in the body and resting on the bladder now, but and maybe pressing on the kidneys. So what you have, the kidneys structurally maybe become slightly incapacitated or slightly not as efficient as it's supposed to because of that pressing. But the point too as well is that with hypertensive people, you need to pay very close attention to those creatinine bond and even something known as a GFR. If you have high blood pressure and you're doing blood tests for your kidney, make sure your doctor do a GFR for you and get the copy of your results. GFR is an acronym for glomerular filtration rate, which is the rate at which they could calculate it using your creatinine too. You know, there's a formula we use as well too, where that is concerned. But that is an important number that you need to know. It will tell you the stage at which your kidney at, and of course, you would want to be going in the opposite direction. You have 1 to 5. When you're 3, B, 4, and 5 is thing places you don't want to be. You want to be 3A, 2, 1. You want to be up on the upper segment as opposed to the lower aspect. Okay.
A person also said who bought the cholesterol tea said that they've also purchased the nerve restore. And that has been doing all this for them as well.
Yeah. But I'm glad to hear that.
Doctor, my blood sugar is reading 126 or read 126 at the clinic. The doctor said I am diabetic based on a fasting test that I did a month before. Can this be changed with diet? They said the blood pressure is good.
Definitely, the diet needs some addressing in that situation. There your water intake, your hydration. Did they mention hydration?
No.
Yeah, how much water you're drinking? When last you take a detox? That's the next thing. Keep in mind, detoxing is very important. Santulan, 7-channel detox, kidney, colon, bloodstream, liver, lymphatic system, skin, and your lungs. I know we should have Santulan in all the offices. I know we were kind of running low, but we got this week, so we will clear. No, we got last week, sorry. So we will clear. No, we got this week. What's it? No, Sunday's the beginning of the week. We got last week, so we'll clear this week. That's why I know why I say that. So we will have again in stock. So that 7-channel detox, kidney, colon, bloodstream, liver, lymphatic system, skin, and your lungs. It is one that helps overall with the body. Remember the rule for Santulan, and you could call any one of those numbers. I'll give you the numbers in a little bit. Keep in mind, you could check us out on our social media. We are Batson and Associates Limited on Facebook. On Instagram, we are Batson and Associates TT. And on YouTube, we are Batson and Associates Trinidad. We also, I will not mention the name because I'm on the radio, but we do all our lives for our programs, and we have other programs that we do as well. So that is something you could always avail yourself of. Okay? Yes, Mr. Right. Dominic, back to you, sir.
Okay, blessed morning to you both. I have a lump in my stomach close to my ribs and other places. They're asking, can they come in to you to do a checkup?
They have, repeat that?
They have lumps apparently close to their stomach, in their stomach, close to the ribs and in other places. And they're asking, can they come see you for a checkup?
Yeah, you can. That's not a problem. You call anyone on the number. Shogunas is 222-8261. That's 222-8261. Debe is 223-7515. That's 223-7515. St. James is 220-8113. That's 220-8113. And Tobago is 226-4553. That's 226-4553. Let me say a pleasant good morning to my junior consultants, Ms. Karishma Ramdan, Mr. Paul Green, Mr. Rene Bastamante. So the thing is, Dr. Batson has help, because, everybody just wants to see Dr. Batson and Dr. Batson alone, but Dr. Batson is one person. So, as I said, we have systems in place. I would just review, but my consultants would do the blood analysis, the scan, those type of things. And my job is just, I run through that. Give me some faith for my 12 years I experience now, please. Sometimes I just spend a minute with a file. You bring a CT scan and ultrasound, I just run through that. By 5 minutes time, I can tell you exactly what it is you need to do, right? So we have things tried, proven, and tested. The rest is up to you. The discipline with the diet and, the little exercise, the intake of the water. These non-water loving people. I was doing a program yesterday and I was telling them, I said, listen to me. There is laws, regardless of how enthusiastic you are. If you decide to run off a building, you wouldn't fly, Regardless of your mental enthusiasm, the law of gravity states that all bodies fall towards the earth with a constant acceleration known as acceleration due to gravity. And it have a measurement, I think it's 9 point something. We learned that in physics. So it means that there's a law of hydration to the body. And the law of hydration basically states that you should consume nothing less than half your body weight in ounces in water on a daily basis. If you are exercising, you are cycling, you're running, you're swimming, you drink more. So forget what you feeling and what it is to say, well, I don't like our water. No. The only people who should not have a problem with drinking water and could continue not having a problem are the persons who addresses are in the cemetery. Dead people. Once you are in the land of the living, you need to consume the correct amount of water if you want to be healthy. Plain talk, bad manners. I don't know how to put that for you again. So don't come with the foolishness. Yeah, I don't like our water. This taste. Water is supposed to have a taste. Water is water. It's not juice. But I get accustomed to too much bad habit. It's such a thing with coloring inside it. Tell people about flavored water. That's the greatest pack of nonsense I ever seen in my life. Flavored water. What inside of it? Coloring. That's what you have in there. And only drinking that to replace water. No, it don't work so. It don't work so at all.
All right, so just a couple more minutes, my friends, and I'm going to cut off for just a bit so Dr. Batson could go over the specials and the numbers of the clinics and what's happening for the next few weeks and months.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's see. I have a pinched nerve in the spine, a severe pain from the lower spine straight to the left foot. It's very hard to keep my body up. I would like to know your thoughts or prognosis.
Pain. Where is the pain is again? Sorry.
Lower spine.
Right.
Left leg, right through.
No. You need core problem.
Yeah.
You have some problems with your core there. Your core, someone at the lumbar vertebrae, something pressing on somebody. Somebody telling somebody go wrong. Somebody in a place where they're not supposed to be. So when you have slippage, when you have...
These days, we have to bring the chiropractor in with you,
Yeah, don't worry. I sorted out that, man. Just now, don't worry. We have taken about on the other kind of TV thing there. Something studio, something. Don't worry, we have them thing. Yes. And then it's only the pandemic change up the thing a little bit, but you have to do what you have to do. So you have all of that coming just now. So definitely, once you have spinal problem, let me see how I can help these back people. One, if you have back problem, don't want anybody open your back for me, please. Not on the first instance. Wait until it is you must be crawling on the ground for them to go and say they go inside your back. Because a lot of the times, I have had people who come to us. Shogunas is a first floor office, right? And listen to me, those people have to get lift up to come up these stairs. And when they came back the second time, I don't know, 4 weeks after and 6 weeks after, these people walk up them stairs for themselves. That's testimony we have. Batson make up that, me and drink and go and lie down and dream that. So it have things that could help you, but you have to know and you have to go through the paces. Let me say something quickly. If you are overweight, notice I'm saying it soft. I ain't balling up no overweight people today. Not today. Not the 21st of August. If you are overweight, you open yourself up to more problems. But the main problem you open up yourself to is damaging your spine. You know why? Your skeleton or your musculoskeletal system is what has to carry you. So you cannot build a foundation for a 2-story house and go and win the lottery and say, well, I win the lottery, but I build the foundation already, but I'll put a 10-story building. You could do that? No, you'll have a problem. You might get a lawsuit, or you might die if you live in the building, because the building will come down. Because that doesn't make any sense, right? So a lot of you walking around with a musculoskeletal system that is designed for a 1-story building and only carrying 10-story weight. You are too heavy. Plain talk, bad manners. And you know the lovely ladies, and she like to see you looking nice and thick and plump and thing. Some always be too plump. The plumpness. Now you might say, Batson, my husband like me or he like me. Okay, that's you and your husband business. So he will have to pay a sick bill. That's not my concern. He have to pay that. He like you take your plump self, you stay with your plump self and he take care of you. Right? But you must be honest with yourself. Some of you're heavy down, but too big. And that weight causing problems with your knee. You check anybody with knee replacement. There's some big people you have. What you doing with all this weight? You want to be sexy in your old age too? No, man. You're not. Your time done pass. I ain't say you had to look like an old dry up person. Nobody is saying no. We still want to look a little plump and nice, but you have to have weight for your age, People don't know that, You can't be in your 60s and 70s and want to be heavy down 200, 300. Who moving you? Suppose you fall. You can imagine you fall in the bathroom. Well, that is the day. You mash up bathroom, mash up, hip mash up. And then it's because that'll take you and put steel and thing inside of you. You want that in your 60-something or your 70-something years to be lying down in a bed all the time? No. Trinidad and Tobago, they can do better than that. So they need to check the weight. And we have things for weight now, and we're bringing some more things too, whether it's concerned just now, or you will get that product, that Santulan cousin, Santulan Slim, so you'll be able to work on it. But start from now and increase your water intake. We also carry a product, the joint tea. That product has done significantly well. The gastro tea was also good, the inflammation formula. So, as I say, we have things for you.
All right, so before we wrap things up, I have three messages that I just need to get through. And I think you'll be going for the board. And that's it, right?
Yes,
so, caller, thank you so very much for calling today. 3 more messages, and then we have to let Dr. Batson go. All right, so first one. Good morning. I have a goiter that my specialist says is only aesthetic. He suggested surgery to remove the entire well-functioning thyroid and live on meds for the rest of my life. Is there a natural way to reduce the goiter? All right. Also, they said that their mother has glaucoma. Are there any remedies for this? So that's one. Go ahead.
Okay. So the thing is, when you deal with goiter, it's basically swelling of the thyroid gland. Now, I have seen instances with persons who came to that with pretty large ones and went down. Some of them like to get trouble. It's go up, go down, go up. It also reacts to stress a lot. So if you have a lot of stressors in your body, you have triggers and it could actually increase it. But there are things that you can do to bring that down. Why you want to go and take out your whole, you know what is that? You're going to be in some problems. There's some deficiency there. A lot of times people with goitre has a lot of poor circulation, hormonal imbalance situations, gut problems. So again, it's a matter of fixing the root cause of the problem where that is concerned. Okay?
All right, next up.
Good morning, doctor. Good morning, dear. I'm just concerned. I'm always hearing people using this statement, is suffering with something. What are the symptoms of suffering? What it really means? I know I have a problem, but I don't have no pains or anything like that. You know, what I should say. No, I don't have any pain. So I wonder if
You're wrong.
I don't know. Can you explain, please? What they mean by suffering?
What do you mean by the suffering?
Thank you.
I love it. I love it. I don't even know what Dr. Batson. I love that question so much.
The thing is, well, the people who say they're suffering, they will know, you know, there's a saying, he who feels it knows it. So if somebody say they're suffering, but there are different ways they could suffer. So me personally, what I would take from this question, I'll tell you something, is I believe an ounce of prevention better than a pound of cure. So I am the type of person, when I go to do my physicals and whatever the case may be on an annual basis, and the doctor just decide to move, because some of them, some people might recognize me, or some of them might know who I am. I just want them to know either. I remember I went to a doctor at the time. I was doing something for insurance, and he said that, well, you have something known as left ventricular hypertrophy. I said, oh, so that. I said, Doc, where's that boy? That song is serious? He said, yes, that's a serious thing. You could end up in some problems with that and all kind of thing. No, I'm not probably showing the man. He was really a good doctor. The man do his test, I think, before I had to go from insurance. So when I think now, I said, but doctor, let me ask you something. That left ventricular hypertrophy, if I lift weights, that's not supposed to happen to me? He said, well, yeah, I said, but how come you tell me that? Yeah, I'm frightened. If I was a layman, I would have, think. He said, oh, I mean, if you was a layman. I said, well, I know a little one or two things about medicine. He said, oh, he's a doctor. I said, well, yeah, something. So I want to give out much information for the man to feel that trying to, tell him how to do his job. But all I was really saying, and then he said, but it's true, I said, because I know athletes, like if you examine somebody who was in track, somebody who swim, people who lift weights, people who did thing. Once you would have done exercise for a period of time, you end up with what is known as left ventricular hypertrophy, which is thickening of the left ventricular wall. Primarily, that is what that is, right? And it's not a bad thing, but it is normally something present in athletes. It's just like people's pulse, like swimmers and people like runners, and their pulse usually very low, like a 55 pulse. That don't mean they're going to die. It just means that their heart is a little more effective than most people because of the exercise that they would have been done or doing for a number of years. Excuse me. So that is to help you to understand that particular situation there. So when people say the suffering, my advice where that is concerned is dot your I's and cross your T's. You know something wrong, check it out. You want some advice, get a second or third opinion. And not only that's why you have naturopathic doctors and consultants like myself. So apart from the Western doctor, you get somebody who qualified and experienced and say, well, hey, you can do this, but don't do this, we change this, we do this, or you do this for a while and go back and let them check and see how you go. Look, the eye drop we have. Those people come who say, they tell them they'll do surgery. When they use the eye drop, 2 bottles of eye drop, they're going back, hey, this thing clear up, what you do? Ting. And it finished there. That's what you need to do.
All right, as you're on that there, someone is saying that they are not producing any tears. Their eyes are dry. What would be the problem there?
That number of things. That could be dehydration. It could also be a hormonal imbalance. You find women who, when they're going through menopause, that's something some of them experience. You could also find a situation where lack of blood flow to the brain. There are a number of things. I would advise that person does a scan, the blood analysis. So the package that we have, the test package with the blood, the scan, the consultation, the foot detox, that would be the package for you. And then remember, oh, sorry, go ahead. And then when you're finished. No, I was saying the family tree. So look out for that promotion coming in September. As I said, 3 persons would have to come. And as we further advertise, we'll let you know what is what and that type of thing. But I just let you know we have something really good coming in September. So, you know, people, if you're watching your little money, is a little pensioner, you know, ting. Everybody had to watch the coppers now. You know, nothing wrong with that. But you have to watch your health too. That's very important.
So our final question for today, and again, my brother, I see you sending in messages. Your messages now coming in, and I do apologize.
I'm ready to finish.
All right. So I am diabetic and a female. I cannot urinate properly when I eat lots of peas, like lentils, about 1 cup full, especially night for dinner, and lots of watermelon on other days. I feel to urinate, but it doesn't flow, or the flow is very low. Can you give some advice?
But the thing is, are you getting any pain? Because if your urine flow is low, that could be a number of things. You know, your urethra could be slightly blocked, so that could be causing problems because you actually have buildup in the urethra itself. It could also be an early sign of problems with your kidney. It could be a bladder problem. Have you done an ultrasound? I would recommend you do maybe an abdominal pelvic ultrasound, or ultrasound of the kidneys, the bladder, urinary area, that kind of thing, for us to know exactly if there's any obstruction, if there's thickening of the walls. Those things could cause problems where that is concerned there. But definitely there are things that we have for that. The tea, we have dandelion tea. That's actually going to help very good for that. Women's formula is also a very good product for that if it's a female, because it will help to balance the hormones and help with proper stimulation as well in that particular aspect of the body, and actually help to improve that. So we might need to do a little more examination where that is concerned for that particular individual.
Okay, all right, so that's just a follow-up on one of the questions that we had earlier when we were discussing the mother with the anxiety attacks and whatnot. Said that they were recommended on the prescription they received after consultation with Dr. Green at the DB office, but they were focusing on the eye optimizer and the nerve restore along with the teas and the Santalan. But they were looking to investing into the other things that you recommended throughout the program this morning and so forth. All right, well, Doc, you can go ahead and wait. Just have one more voice note, and I promise the last one. And then you could go ahead and run through how much ever notices you have.
Yes.
That's final voice note here.
Yes.
Morning, Dr. Batson. I know you are very brand specific, so I wouldn't call any brand, but there is a liquid that they sell in drugstore and pharmacy for cleansing of the liver. What's your take on that? Or should I go the natural way? I come into you and that's it. Ready to get some dandelion, Dr. Batson.
All right. My thing is, again, as I say, a brand specific. There are some good brands out there. I'm not saying no. I would prefer sometimes to tell persons generic so that I don't get myself in problems, right? So, you know, of course, if you come in my office, I could tell you A, B, C, whatever the case may be. But I would go with the Liberty. I would go with the Santulan. Then there's a recipe I'd give you guys with the raisins. I could always repeat that recipe for you on our next program. And, you know, you start to actually clean up the liver, that type of thing. Alkagen water is also a good bet where that is concerned as well. All right. So keep in mind, again, those telephone numbers, locations. We are located on the first floor of Money Talks building. That is Money Talks building in Montrose, Chaguanas. We are also on the corner of Ramsey Trace and the SS Erin Main Road. That number for Chaguanas. Keep in mind, we have our open clinic days in Chaguanas. Open clinic days Monday to Saturday, so you don't necessarily have to have an appointment. Just call and we will fit you in. And we have put certain things in place for that. That number is 222, so it's 222-8261. That's 222-8261. That office is located on the first floor of Money Talks building. That is Money Talks building in Montrose, Chaguanas. Database number is 223-7515. That's 223-7515. And that office is located on the corner of Ramsey Trace and the SS Erin Main Road in Debe. We're also in St. James. St. James is Red Edge Mall, Western Main Road, St. James. That telephone number for the St. James office is 220-8113. That's 220-8113. And for Tobago, Tobago is the Triangle Building in Scarborough. Tobago, you will be getting a new office in the next month and a half for the most. And that number for Tobago is 226-4553. 226-4553. Keep in mind as well, those open clinic days are for St. James. St. James, I will be in St. James actually this Tuesday. I should be doing a makeup day in St. James there. I'm in Shogunas this week as well, which should be Wednesday and Thursday. And of course, we'll have our consultants, Ms. Ramdan, whatnot there and that type of thing. We also changed up some of these Saturdays where I actually did Saturday in Shogunas, and we actually am organizing day-day people because I know I have to fix some things in day-day. So that's going to be beginning to fix from this month coming in, which is September. All right. So with that being said, let me say a pleasant good morning again to our listeners on Facebook. We had a lot of persons on Facebook, but I was so engrossed in answering questions here that I didn't get a chance to deal with you guys here. So I have not forgotten you. I'll address that next program because I have all the questions there. And of course, my staff my colleagues rather, would ensure that they send the necessary information for you and whatnot. Instagram, we had a good follow-up on Instagram this morning. A good showing. Instagram, we are live on Instagram as Batson and Associates TT, and on YouTube we are Batson and Associates Trinidad. So check us out on our social media and see those testimonies. We placed a new testimony there, very, very compelling testimony. So those of you who have problems with depression, anxiety, you feel like your mind is your own, there is hope for you. Dominic says, always a pleasure to be in your company, sir.
Thank you very much.
Always say at Batson and Associates, if you think health is expensive, try sickness. If you think education is expensive, try ignorance. God bless you guys continually, and do enjoy the rest of your Sunday.